Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to today's segment of the Grandest Lan stream. Joining me here today, we've got...
Hello, my name is Roger. I'm content designer at Tinto, and I'm currently here with you because we were a little bit, let's say, trashed being Poland. So we will be relocating today, but we're still waiting for that. So I just came by to be with you for a while.
And you're definitely not covering for the fact that we're actually missing our other caster.
No.
No coverage there whatsoever. No names, Mathieu, no names whatsoever. Anyway, so the game is currently on the lobby, so we're just waiting for players to join in, so you're not missing anything, so don't worry about that. As a quick recap, we have a couple of large alliances beginning to appear. We've got the Livonians, the British, and the French. I think it's one of the groups.
Livonia was with good terms with Russia, if I remember right.
Okay.
Or at least that's what they told us.
Ah, here we go. Oh no, I can't click on it. In fact, I should make sure I don't. Scroll down. Okay, so which other ones are there? There was Serbia, Kingdom of God, Romania.
Yeah, they were together. And I have no idea what was happening in Asia, though.
No, in Asia, Manchu, Japan, and Korea are allied. Japan has now managed to unify most of his land. Manchu is starting to expand outwards a little bit, and then Korea is being Korea. The big surprise at the end of the stream yesterday was the fact that Chagatai managed to take Beijing and that Shandong region from... Was that from Nepal?
Last time I saw it, there was still Ming there. I don't know if
Okay.
Nepal took it first and then Chagatai took it from them, or
yeah, Ming was exploded basically by a war with Nepal and what was then Dai Viet, now Siam, and then all the warlords split out. And so far, it looks like Min is the only warlord that's actually still left. I'm going to need a drink. I'm coughing a lot. So.
Yeah, and Min was a vassal of Brunei, unless they broke free.
Oh, okay. That I didn't know.
Yeah, and Persia also was getting quite a bit strong in the middle. Mm-hmm. In fact, during our war with Russia, Persia just came into to our aid just a little bit for the lulz, because they didn't had anything to gain for that, but they were just, okay, let's kick a little bit of Russia's ass. Mm-hmm. And they were really delivering. For a while, we were winning a war against Russia while having all our country occupied and no army, just because of Persia.
Yeah, and then Serbia came in to try and swing the balance again the other way. Yeah. So you basically had Persia and Serbia fighting in Russia for Poland.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bit of a proxy war going on there, definitely between the tension that we're starting to feel across the borders between Persia and Serbia. Elsewhere in the world, we also have the African Union. I believe the last thing we saw was Tunis, Somalia, and Zimbabwe all being allied. Zimbabwe starting to attack into Congo, I think mostly to stop somebody being respawned over there. They would definitely be up for a difficult time. Okay, the game is now loading up, so we should be able to switch over to the map very, very soon. Age of Wonders is Triumph, not Paradox. Yeah, but Triumph is owned by Paradox. Ah, no, I didn't change the icons. Okay, it's fine. We're good, we're good. It's fine. Just one I need to change, because I need this one to be diplomacy. Standby music. Where's the diplomacy icon? There it is. All right, cool. So, are we now showing the map? May as well, just so we can have a scroll around and look at exactly what is going on. So, as we were mentioning, Tunis, Somalia, and Zimbabwe are allied, so we can go over to the diplomatic map. No, Tunis is not allied to them. Tunis is allied with Somalia, but not, sorry, to Zimbabwe, but not Somalia. Somalia is allied to Zimbabwe, but not Tunis. So maybe there's going to be some Tunis-Somalia action going on.
There's probably going to be something. In what direction? I still don't know. But this three-legged Africa, it's probably going to fail for some point.
Yeah, most likely. The other thing which is of interest is the fact that Somalia actually owns land in Sri Lanka. So even though it looks like this is the Mewar Orissa show in India, Punjab having been mostly removed from that equation, we do actually have a foreign power looking to get into some action over there, perhaps. And then over in Indonesia, nations I haven't really covered before because they didn't really exist before, Malacca and Brunei. Do you know anything about what those guys are up to?
I heard them because we were really focused in Europe, so we didn't basically see anything of Asia. And after we got eliminated, we had a little bit of time of going around, speaking with people and such. And I spoke a little bit with the Brunei players, and in theory, they were allied with Malacca.
Right.
They had good relations. But they were a little bit like waiting for, meaning they were allied for the moment, but it's not, or at least it was not at that time, like a firm, established, complete alliance.
Right.
So I don't know what can happen there.
And the interesting thing, of course, is all of these Asian powers were former European powers.
Yeah.
And they're going to be holding grudges against the European powers that removed from their area of interest. So we may well start seeing the rest of the world beginning to intervene in European wars, possibly tipping the balance, possibly becoming kingmakers, which is kind of interesting. Then, of course, there is the last sphere of, or the last theater, rather, which is the Americas. I will say that it's mostly North America, although we do actually have Jerusalemite Brazil, which I believe is going to be of interest to you soon.
Yeah.
But we've got the United States, Texas, and Scotland over in the Americas. United States, of course, no longer being Anglican. They are now Sunni. In fact, everything over here is, with the exception of Norse Gotland, which makes me so proud.
Yeah, Gotland changed to Norse yesterday at last minute almost. And Livonia is also trying to go Norse.
Oh, nice. Oh, man. Norse Livonia with the with the deity, one of them, Thor, I think, gives more discipline.
Yes.
Let's actually just go and flip over to Gotland real quick, because I just want to remind myself what those are. So they've currently got Njord, which is trade efficiency and goods produced. I can't click on those, so I can't exactly see what the different sects that are available are. But I know that some of the Norse ones are really nice. And of course, the really cool thing about those is they're flexible. If you're a republic, every 4 years you get to change your religion bonuses. So not quite as flexible and adaptable as Protestantism, but the bonuses are bigger. What else do we have going on? So what about Westphalia? Westphalia, towards the end of the session, attacked into Swabia. Is Swabia doing anything? Now, Swabia is still playing as Swabia. They're just a somewhat reduced Swabia now.
Yeah, I heard rumors end of last session that there was gonna be like a huge European war between Westphalia, Kingdom of God, Sicily, Livonia was involved, Russia was involved. But I'm not sure how it's gonna develop because, of course, they were talking to start the war yesterday before the session ended, and they didn't do it. So perhaps during the night, some diplomacy has been made or there has been some changes.
And an interesting one that I just noticed is the fact that France is not allied to Great Britain and Livonia. I'm not sure when that alliance broke, but considering they still have a royal marriage, it can't have been that long ago. In fact, if we check the truces, no, the truce has already expired. But for a long time, I was thinking it was Great Britain, Livonia, and what was then Provence kind of allied over here in Western Europe. But now they've actually joined the Kingdom of God's side. And I do believe that there was a bit of a coalition being formed against what was being proclaimed as the false emperor. The true emperor, of course, being resident over here in lovely New Zealand. And it looks like the true emperor has been expanding his holdings a little bit, having realized that just ruling one province was not enough to house the entire glorious imperial household. So they needed to take over some more land. So it does look like they are going to try to take the rest of New Zealand to establish themselves a power base from which, perhaps, to stage a glorious return to Aachen, which was stolen from them.
Yeah, and they are currently at war, so they are actively trying.
Yeah, indeed they are. And there have definitely been some rumors spinning around that the Emperor is trying to rally his loyal supporters in going against the false Emperor, which is currently Westphalia.
Yes. I don't know if Team Tinto will be able to help that much in that regard, but it will be nice to do it.
And I've just been given a list of the various sects and deities for the Norse religions. We've got Freya, which is national tax, national manpower. We've got Thor, which is land, leader, shock, and force defense. We've got Odin, which is core creation, horde unity, and legitimacy. We've got Tyr, which is national unrest, discipline. So it's Tyr that does that. Njord, which is trade efficiency, goods produced. Snotra, which is build cost, tech cost. And that's all. So those would be the different options. So it looks like they would probably go for Tyr, which is actually very good during warfare. The -1 to unrest means that you can suffer more war exhaustion before it becomes a real problem, and your nation's just less likely to suffer rebellions, which we have seen cripple quite a few nations during wartime in this. For example, Livonia probably wasn't going to be toppled by their opponents in North Germany. Rebels rising up in Norway and Sweden, however, was a different matter because they just did not have the forces free to go and fight them. So that unrest reduction and then even more discipline with Livonia would be kind of scary. Shows how the religious conversion of the Vikings to the Caribbean is going. I don't think it's happened much yet. In fact, none.
Not really, no.
I mean, they've only just converted, so I don't even know. Oh, here we go. Gotland itself is Norse. That's it. And what about Bermuda? Bermuda is not. Is Bermuda still their capital? No. Where's the capital now? Gotland, where is your capital? Oh, Aruba. New Gotland. Fair enough. Had this been hard to find, that's where all the oil would be coming from. So, what wars do you think will break out first?
I'm not sure. I was thinking that the Great European War was going to break out soon, but as I said, I don't know if any diplomatic things have changed during the night, which would affect the situation. But of course, it's not a war that they're gonna leave for last time.
No.
So,
and today is definitely the day that all of the really big conflicts happen. This is what everybody has been building up towards. So Europe is going to be a powder keg, and then the rest of the world is probably going to be adding even more powder to that keg, just to make sure that the sparks fly and are wondrous for us to behold.
I must say that I'm really happy to see that Poland is somewhat still alive.
Yeah, they are.
And Hussite.
Are they actually Hussite?
They're actually Hussite. Because the emperor was quite nice to us during the whole time. We received a lot of favors from His Majesty. And one of the conditions was to become a Hussite Poland. And we couldn't do it at that time because we were, well, occupied with other stuff. But I'm happy to see that it finally happened. And
Very
we have
cool.
a Hussite Poland.
So we actually have Anglican Great Britain now that has actually switched to Anglican. I wonder how they got it. Did they get it from the United States before they flipped? Or because America flipped away from Anglican, became Sunni, did Britain then get another event to say, hey, you can become Anglican? I don't know. Then, of course, we've got Westphalia, which is Protestant. The lion's share of Europe is Catholic, although there are a lot of individual provinces that have been converted because of the power of the centers of Reformation here in the center. And then there is a large swathe, which is also Orthodox, from the Slavic nations, Russia, Romania, Serbia. And Sicily is Catholic.
Yeah, religious mammoth is interesting.
It's pretty wild. Then we've also got Zoroastrian Persia.
Yes, they've flipped to Zoroastrian quite early on.
We've got Sikh Mewar. We've got Sikh Orissa. Vajrayana Nepal. Confucian up there. We've got Confucian Korea, Tengri Manchuria, and of course Shinto Japan. So all of the different religions really starting to make themselves known and respected throughout the world. And then we've also got, Mayan and all the other stuff, but that is actually going to be, in fact, that is entirely owned by players now, so will most likely get converted away. Did Persia upgrade their Zoroastrian monument? Yeah, that is a good question. I need to remember where it is. Great projects. Which one is it? It's not that one. It's not that one. It's the Fire Temple. Was that it? Level 3. they've done it. So they have discipline plus 10, culture conversion minus 10, land fire damage plus 5, and then fire damage received minus 10. And we are definitely in the era of fire damage now. So we just head over to Persia and take a very quick look. We can see that their military has got large cast iron artillery. Actually, no. I believe that the fire era, the age of fire damage, begins with chambered demi-cannon. So we're currently at Miltech 14. Miltech 14, we're about to switch to 15, and then it is at 16 that fire damage really begins to rule. And that's when Persia really starts to get powerful. That's also when Andalusia really starts to get powerful because they've got the minus 15% damage received from fire.
Yeah, Andalusia doesn't have any real allies, though, that I can see.
No. The interesting thing is Andalusia, I think, was allied with the Kingdom of God because they did formally convert. I guess they converted back, which is why the Kingdom of God has been trying to purge Iberia of the non-Catholics. Because I do remember that there was a big deal made because we filmed it in the chapel of Andalusia receiving communion from the Pope. So I guess that is a word that has gone back upon.
I was looking at the diplomatic relations, and Serbia has quite a big of a block for themselves because they are allied to Tunis, Romania, Russia, and Livonia.
That is scary. I do wonder if it's going to be Serbia that kicks off a potential war against Westphalia and Britain. I don't think they're going to suffer at all, not going to be able to do anything at all at sea. But on land, Westphalia is going to struggle. I mean, I did see that the entire British army is sitting in British, France and Netherlands. They were just over here hanging out and drilling like crazy, trying to build up the professionalism so they can tap it for manpower later. Currently at 45%. And in fact, while we are thinking about that, let's go and just do a very quick army quality comparison between the players. So the nation with the highest discipline, outside of warfare, and there are usually a couple of things they can press to boost this even further. We've got Nepal, Persia at 125, Maywar just behind at 124, Westphalia at 122, Siam at 120, Kingdom of God and Livonia also at 120. Meanwhile, siege ability, the top nations for that, Serbia with a whopping 53% siege ability, Westphalia at 44, Kingdom of God at 40. Defensiveness, so the most difficult to conquer would be, again, Livonia, 52%, Maywar 44, Desmond 35. Wait, Desmond's a player?
Desmond returned, yeah. I saw a notification yesterday that Desmond was returning as Desmond. And they are in South Africa.
I missed that. Interesting. All right, where's Desmond? That's Scotland. That's all Zimbabwe. That is Tunis. Find me Desmond.
They were returning somewhere.
Sierra Leone. There they are. West Africa. We do indeed have a Desmond player over here. That is amazing. Okay, cool. Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, we have got Irish Ivory Coast. Fantastic. I did not even notice that. All right, so going back to our list of stuff. Professionalism, this is the important one. Serbia at 100%. Because Serbia has not been involved in many wars. The other players around them have just let them grow and grow and grow. And the casters last night were genuinely struggling to remember if Serbia has actually been involved in a player war. They have, when they were fighting against Persia, against Poland and Russia.
Yeah, but they had an understanding with Persia not to attack each other's troops.
Right. Oh, they weren't attacking each other's troops?
Yeah. At least not at first. They were attacking themselves at the end of it, but...
Gotcha. My voice is starting to get a bit raggedy.
At one point, I was thinking if Serbia was going to form Byzantium, but I see they have not culture convert anything, so...
There was a lot of speculation about whether they were going to do that, actually, yeah. Going back to the professionalism real quick, we've got Gotland at 56, Kingdom of God at 52, Westphalia at 50. And then military tradition, Texas at a whopping 93, Westphalia at 90, Maywar is 83, Livonia 76. I'm actually a little surprised Livonia is that low, but I think that's just because they haven't actually fought a war in a while.
I saw a question in chat a little bit. Who's Persia allied to? They are allied to Chagatai and Hassa.
Yes, they are. So they're very much... Excuse me. Can you just mute me, Midge? Can you just mute me?
Don't die on me. So yeah, Persia is allied to Chagatai and Hassa. So I'm not sure if they are willing or intending to oppose the Serbia, Romania, Russia, Livonia, Tunis bloc, or just they are allied to oppose the Nepal bloc, which is also allied to Chagatai, but also to Mewar, Orissa, and Siam.
I reckon that Persia is mostly allied with those guys to stop Serbia and Russia pushing further east. I don't think they're going to be involved in any offensive wars. If they see an opportunity, they'll take it. They do feel very much like opportunistic players. I think the real show here is going to be the one that goes on in Europe. I think that Serbia's forming a coalition to go against Britain and Westphalia. And then I think that India is going to continue to fight in India. There are still a few provinces in China to go after. And I actually see more of a conflict brewing between the former Golden League members, Manchu, Korea, and Japan, against Nepal, Orissa, Mewar for China. And then we've got Siam, Malacca, and Brunei basically sitting on the sidelines, very much going to be able to determine the balance of power in that conflict for that very, very wealthy Chinese land.
Yeah, I see that Nepal has reached the coast, which is interesting because last session they were involved for a while with a war for Min, which was a vassal of Brunei, but Nepal had no boats. So they were with whole Min occupied, but they couldn't do anything to Brunei. Right.
Yeah, Brunei was just kind of sitting back, chilling, just going, and what, mate? What are you going to do about it? Meanwhile, we also have Gotland now starting to form more and more territories in Australia. And I think that they are the only player nation to have done so far, yes. So of all of the nations, Gotland definitely seems to be the most colonizing. I don't think anyone else has really done a major amount. Andalusia, I think, did have exploration ideas, but I haven't seen them really do anything with them. No, they do. Yeah. 2 colonists. So where are they? Oh, they're up here in Venezuela. Okay, so they are starting to do a little bit of colonization, but that's going to be kind of dangerous. Oh, because they have Castile there. That's why they kept Castile alive. Now I understand. Because one of the real questionable things that was going on for the entirety of yesterday is why on earth have they kept Portugal, Castile, and Leon alive? We haven't seen a unified Spain at all so far.
No, but it's just so that they colonize for them.
So we've got Leon there, we've got Andalusia here, we've got Castile here. So once all of the colonization has had a chance to happen, they would start to integrate those countries. Probably with a war or two to go from the Kingdom of God. However, they're going to need to be really careful that the Kingdom of God doesn't go after them and just break the vassalizations, because that would be crippling, and then it's going to be open house for whoever wants this real estate. So they're going to need to be very careful in how they time that. And even now, I would say it's probably a bit too late, although it might be that they have insight that the Kingdom of God might have other problems from certain other nations. We are going to have an incoming propaganda video for you in just a moment from, who was it, Swabia? From Swabia, which might be possibly trying to rile up certain tensions. I believe that we're going to roll it when French Paradox is ready to come and join us, so that's going to be in just a moment. Are you good? Then we may as well roll it and move on to that now.
Hello. So here we have Swabia, and you guys have been you've had an interesting relationship with the Pope. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
So at the start, we're a Catholic nation. We've been very loyal to the Pope. We've followed every word, every command that he's issued to us.
Battle Pope.
Battle Pope. When it came to Switzerland, we followed his orders. That was his idea. He was the one who came up with the partition. It was a multiple war. We were not happy with it, but we must do it as we are Catholic and he is the Holy Father. But recently, the Pope has betrayed the Catholic nations. The Pope has aligned himself with the Protestants. He is going, it's heresy. We will not stand for it. He's betraying us, his brothers, and we are not very happy with his decisions at this point in time.
Wow, so you're here to sort of spread some anti-Pope propaganda to the viewers at home.
I'm here to tell the viewers at home the truth about the Pope.
course.
The Pope set up a 1v1 between us and Sicily, an honorable duel, if you will, but the condition was that the winner would be annexed by Westphalia. There's no honor in that. They're a Protestant nation. The Pope sold us out. The Pope has no honor. He is scum.
A fair petition. Well, you heard him, folks. This Pope might be a little bit corrupt, you would say?
I would say he's more than corrupt.
More than corrupt.
I would say he is evil. He may in fact be the devil incarnate.
In very strong words, very strong words. Do you have any closing remarks?
Us Swabians, we're a proud people. We're an honorable people. We honor every alliance. We never betray our brothers. We followed the Pope till the end, and now we no longer can. We may, in the future, consider changing our religion, but we will see what time brings.
Well, thank you for being here.
Okay, and we are back again. Hope you enjoyed that video. You're going to have to tell us what it is you just saw, because we didn't see it. I thought it was going to be Swabia decrying Westphalia and the false emperor, but no. Apparently chat is now yelling, "Burn the Pope." So there does seem to be an upswell of anti-papal feeling within chat right now.
I mean, Protestants are taking a hold slowly but surely due to Westphalia, basically.
Yeah, but the video was from Swabia, not Westphalia. Westphalia is the false emperor. Swabia is the persecuted nation being attacked from all sides.
Also, they want the other. Okay, right. This is confusing. I mean, to be fair, their land is basically peak Reformation land right now.
Yep.
Did they? They did switch.
They did switch. They just switched.
They are also like, you know what? I'm out of here. It is time to reform.
Yeah, there was just too much pressure going on. So we've got now British Anglican, Westphalia, and Swabian Protestantism. And I wonder if that's then going to get Swabia allied to Westphalia. They still have their Bohemian vassals. They're not quite as small as they look. And we know that they do punch pretty hard because they were able to resist the Westphalian encroachment upon them for a while, although Westphalia's armies are just so much bigger at this point, just because they've been taking so much Swabian territory. But if this is going to be Swabia preparing to go for a swing against the Kingdom of God, it's going to be interesting.
They need help because they're not big.
And they have no allies.
Oh, God, really? Yeah, no, they're not. And they have a bunch of rebels. Okay, no, their numbers are just 38k. They can barely beat their own rebel. There's no way they can beat the Pope.
Oh, no,
like
absolutely
each
not.
individual stack of the Pope is bigger than theirs. This is not going to go well.
But you never know what diplomatic wrangling has been going on last night. So perhaps this Serbian alliance that I spotted isn't to go after Westphalia. It's to go after the Pope.
I mean, they should, because I'm looking at all the alleyway to attack the Pope. They're all mountain fort except Friuli and Treviso, when instead No, they're still going to get stuck in Trentino.
Sicily exists basically because the Pope didn't kill him. So Sicily is going to be a very, very loyal minion. I can't see that breaking.
At least they have not fortified their border with Swabia with a bunch of mountain fort that they could have made. Surprising. Oh, wait, unless I'm looking. No. They have. There is a bunch of mountains. This is going to be really tough nut to crack for most people because they have to go through mountains to get into Italy proper.
Yep.
Unless they can manage a naval landing.
And I was going to say, I think that naval is probably going to be their most open route. But they do have 91 galleys just hanging out in Rome right now. So in fact, let's just take a quick look to see which nations might be able to rival them at sea.
Gotland, I'm assuming?
Oh, Gotland almost certainly can, yeah. Well,
not even.
3 heavies. They have 50 galleys, sure. Kingdom of God actually has 104 at this point. 221 light ships. The light ships aren't really warships. They're mostly there because Gotland are ridiculous at privateering. So Malacca, 23 heavies. Great Britain, 35. Orissa, surprisingly powerful navy with 34 heavy ships. Although
they are building up.
Amazing.
Does the Pope have naval ID or anything that buffs the naval ideas?
I mean, naval ideas and maritime ideas are just so meta. I'm sure, of course, they've taken it.
No.
Has Gotland even taken it? Come on, Gotland. Yes, Scotland's taken naval ideas, which is a mistake. They don't have many heavies. If you're using light ships as your main tool of messing with people, maritime. Yeah. Every time. Maritime is such an amazing
I'm going to say, if you want to defend your Caribbeans, you might want to consider getting heavies.
Player war. We've got Andalusia and France kicking off.
Oh. So it's mostly France trying to finish up whatever remains of Andalusia.
Yeah, so this is something that we saw earlier that's a bit dangerous. So part of the reason that we haven't seen a unified, Iberia yet is because Castile, Leon and Portugal were kept alive so they would colonize. And they have been colonizing pretty aggressively around Venezuela. I was thinking Andalusia, you've had exploration ideas since the beginning of the game, and yet this is your colony? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they spawned colonialism, and then it seems like they just stopped.
Yeah.
They were on a really uptrend spiral, and then something just crashed. I mean, I know the Pope came in and just broke some of their dreams, but I think even then they would have had a shot at just forming a colonial empire. In general, I feel like the investment in colonial empires has been pretty weak.
Oh, it's been super weak.
In this game, I know that people are afraid that the Respawn Nation in the New World will just steal them from you.
Yep.
But
And I think that is a legitimate concern because that does often happen.
yeah, I think if you have aim for South, like obviously don't aim for the Caribbeans or maybe even the US that people have taken a big claim upon. But if you have aim like for, I don't know, South America, Brazil, there's a lot of gold to be found there. Well, I mean, especially if you're Portugal, but in general.
So I wonder how the Papal States is going to feel about this French encroachment in...
Oh, Tunis from the Mamluks.
Oh, they did. Interesting.
Interesting
I
idea.
didn't even know they could do that.
I think the Mamluks are reformable.
Interesting. So Mamelukes, of course, will give you the Sultanate government style.
Did Texas reach an agreement with United States? Because I'm surprised you're letting them take like Louisiana.
Yes, they did. So the United States accepted the light of Sunni from Texas.
So they're making a cut at the Mississippi.
Yeah, so there's a border at the Mississippi. Everything to the east of it is United States. Everything to the west of it is Texas.
Like that work historically.
Yeah, it works so well. Caused absolutely no problems. So yeah, we just got France pouring in. Castile actually with a significant... Oh, that was actually Andalusia. They just have 5,000 Castellan. I was like, really? 30-odd thousand Castellans? That's impressive.
I'm surprised we haven't... Did we upgrade that fort? Let's see. Yeah, they did upgrade that fort.
Yeah, it's level 4.
It's a nice mountain fort, but if you can't fight, they don't have the numbers, I guess. Like, even if you could take a good battle on this fort, there's no way. Like, their whole game right now is diplomatic. Like, if they want any of this to happen, they need to find allies.
Well, the problem is they were allied for most of the game to Tunis. Then when the Kingdom of God came knocking, Tunis just sat in Cairo and did not raise a single finger to help them. Even though they were in the war, they were just like, no, not helping.
That kind of ally.
Yeah, that kind of ally.
It is what it is, but...
Even though at the time Tunis was the #1 great power too. Like, they should have been secure. Andalusia plus Tunis would have blocked the Kingdom of God. They may not necessarily have beaten them, but they would have stopped them at least from expanding in. But because Andalusia was just completely abandoned, they've been in a death spiral ever since, I'm sorry to say.
It is a sad thing. But yeah, if two people decide to carve you up and nobody decides to challenge them, which... Oh, I don't like this. A bunch of papal troops are moving on their way to their Iberian holdings. I think they're just going to jump Andalusia too.
Yeah.
Unless they're willing to fight France. I don't think so. They're walking through France.
They're allied, so no.
Okay, yeah. So I guess they're just going to jump pull Andalusia without... See, chat, this is this kind of move I despise. Like, there's no honor in kicking a dead man. Like...
I mean, if you want to eat his corpse, then I guess you got to do it some way, but...
Yeah, I do respect Andalusia for keeping playing this anyway.
Absolutely. Like, this is something I absolutely want to hype up, is I respect players that will go down fighting to the end. I was actually kind of ticked off with the North Germans, who are just like, I have a full country, but we just lost a war, so we're off by.
Desmond is still alive. Well, they've respawned again, and they are fighting they are the only ally of...
Have they joined Andalusia?
Of Andalusia? Yeah, they are. I mean, they can't do much, but they are here, and I respect that.
Exactly. Heck yes, Desmond. Nice. I mean, they're just chilling in Sierra Leone doing Tunis. But I don't really expect them to come marching to their... Oh, no, they have 1,000 men on the way.
Nice. Okay, so Pope has been moving troops around, but then, I don't know if they're just going back. Okay, they were just like... Oh, peace has been declared. I guess that
sounds...
Unless... they're about to also attack.
I wonder if the Pope and France have actually made a deal with Andalusia to get Andalusia to exile to South America.
Maybe, because clearly, like, this arrogant state is almost complete with the exception of Catalayud, so I'm pretty sure the Pope is just waiting to be able to take it back.
Have they started to integrate any of their colonial miners? No, they haven't. And that worries me because all they need is one bad war for the peace deal to be break vassalization of Castile, Leon, and Portugal. Then all of the time you've spent not taking that territory and allowing them to colonize is just lost.
Yeah, again, maybe I would have expected a better or stronger, like, colonial play.
Yeah, I mean, the colonies in general, the only nation that I would really say is done well, colonial, is Gotland.
Yes, Scotland is doing okay.
Yeah, but that was a forced exile. I don't really count that as colonization, as self-preservation.
Well, it's self-preservation. This game, not many people have made the play to move to the US or any other colony, like, voluntarily, like we've seen in the past.
No.
I have seen some very strong moves of, like, Portuguese player or Breton player or Irish player just saying, you know what, I'm not here to stay. I just want to make good holdings in the in the Americas.
Yep.
But this has sadly not been the case.
And Britain did say early on to us that they'd made a deal not to go colonial. I forget who that was with. Was that with Livonia? With Gotland. Okay, so Britain and Gotland have a long-standing agreement that Britain would not go colonial in order for Gotland not to raid them. That was the deal. So Britain's not been raided because Gotland.
I think the economy of England could probably be challenged if suddenly a bunch of pirates decide to show up in the English Channel.
100%. They have 100% monopoly, which means that they're going to have a ridiculous bonus to the privateering efficiency. Because the bigger your trade power, the more of a monopoly there is, the more privateering efficiency.
Are they privateering anywhere, actually?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I don't think they necessarily are, but the threat of privateering means that people are paying them subsidies. In fact, let's just take a look at that.
Are they getting subsidies?
Right, they said they were, but no, they're not.
No, they're not getting any money. Come on, you're pirates. Just get the money. They have a raiding fleet, but it's just
protecting trade.
It's protecting trade.
They did say that yesterday. They said we kind of stopped raiding because trade is just so much more lucrative. So I said, why don't you raid while you trade? Just while your ships are automatically going along the coastline, just a bit raid.
Yeah, I mean, the English Channel is just too much money to not be raided, but
I mean, that's a long-standing agreement, and Britain is the one nation that probably would be a naval rival to Gotland.
That is true, but also I kind of want to see the naval nation fighting instead of being friends, because it's not fun.
True. But I'm fairly sure that wars will break out, and I think one of the kingmakers of those potential wars will be Gotland.
Yeah, because if you want a project force, unless you are willing to walk across Europe or whatever else, you're gonna need some boats. Although maybe Orissa is making a bed for that. I don't know.
Orissa is really starting to build up a fleet. We were taking a look at that before you joined us.
What kind of ideas they've gone for? I mean, so far they have exactly the same ideas as everybody else, almost. Economy, quality, and quantity.
They actually have a larger war fleet than Britain does at this point.
Interesting.
They don't have Britain has more transports.
Yeah, they probably have less bonuses from their naval, from their national ideas. Yeah, they don't have the only thing they have is a naval force limit modifier, which is, I mean, not bad, don't get me wrong, but they don't have any like heavy ability or
morale of navies +20, heavy ship combat ability +15, yearly naval tradition +1.
I mean, this is Great Britain, that's what they do.
I'm saying I'm doing a comparison here. Blockade efficiency, naval leader maneuver.
Did they pick the wooden wall?
Sorry,
did they pick the wooden wall doctrine?
I don't know. I would think so. It is incredibly
No,
powerful.
they just want more cash.
For the moment, I mean, they can always change.
Yeah, they can always change. It's just what 1,000 ducats or so.
Well, it depends on the size of your fleet, so it might be way more than 1,000 at this point.
Yeah, true.
1,407.
That's not too bad. We can probably get that in one loan.
Yeah, I mean, they can pay for it right now.
Oh, wow.
Britain is starting to build up a war chest. I think that they are foreseeing that there might be problems in the future. What is Britain building right now? That's true. So we did have Zlowick coming on stream yesterday saying, we're building a bunch of manufactories. I'm surprised he's not here right now saying, we're building a bunch of soldiers' households, because they are building a lot of soldiers' households.
I mean, they already have like 250k manpower banked.
Well, that's going to go up quite substantially. Look how many they're building.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's an amount.
Yeah, it is.
That is an amount. Yeah, I was wondering if with all that money they were trying to look at a great project, but I don't know if there's any great project in England that will really help them.
Okay, I no longer actually think that the British economy is as strong as it looks. They are 12,000 ducats in debt.
Yeah, Slevik says that he usually take loans to build manufactories, but
yeah, I think what he does is takes loans, builds manufactories, bankruptcies, so that he doesn't have to pay them back. Once they've been built, They're not cancelled.
I don't think he actually bankrupts. He just said that he felt that he was the money from manufacturers was worth the cheap interest rate. It's it's basically a modern capitalist investment.
Oh, it is. Like I usually do the same. Manufacturers are absolutely worth taking loans out for. So are lightships. I very often will, as soon as a new form of lightship comes available, take a bunch of loans, upgrade what I got, build a bunch more, and then use the money made from the trade from those lightships.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
pay it
it's
off.
especially true when you control your own trade node, right? Because all the money, any money you put in production comes back double.
Yeah. So the interesting thing here is Britain only actually has 2 merchants. This is the downside of
yeah.
them not having any colonial nations, because of course every colonial nation with more than 10 cities gives you another merchant, which allows you to control where the trade is flowing. So at the moment they're only going to be pushing money in from North Sea.
Yeah, and where's that money coming from? I'm assuming it's mostly coming from the the Baltics and the North.
Oh, they must have an agreement to Livonia and Gotland, because Lubeck, even though they only control 51% of it, 100% is being moved into the English Channel right now.
Oh wow!
Because Livonia and Gotland both have merchants upstream.
Interesting. So most of the German money is flowing there.
That is a good question. I would imagine so. It is a very powerful monument. Nope, level 1.
Because we have lots of money we could spend on projects.
Yep. If they built it up to level 3, they would get global goods produced plus 10, Berkha loyalty equilibrium plus 15.
And we can do it because the culture is still correct. Yeah, I don't. Is the Tower of London gonna help them? Not really. I don't even think they bothered creating it.
No, still in ruins. Army tradition, prestige, defensiveness. No, I would say the polders for them are a lot more useful. Like that global
Yeah.
goods produce. Like Britain does produce some pretty valuable goods. This is one of the other icons that's missing.
Yeah, and Stonehenge is also not super important for them, so I wouldn't see them bothering with any of that.
And bring in trade goods. Actually, it might be one of these.
Actually, let me check the monument map. But does it tell you which one have been upgraded?
I don't think so.
Well,
Trade goods, that's the one I wanted to see. There we go. So you can see there's a lot of cloth, a lot of iron.
I still think we should nerf England, but that's just me.
I don't disagree, or maybe make it so that they scale later on.
I think the mix of trade goods, insane amount of land easy to develop, plus the fact that it's super easy for them to control where the money from their land flows for. Because, for example, I mean, I always compare to France, right? But the way the setup of France is, you have to figure out which way you want between north and south. Like, you can't just play both. It is really difficult to control your trade because you split into 3, 4, 5 nodes now. Jesus Christ. Compared to England, there's just English Channel and North Sea, and most of the money is probably in the English Channel anyway.
I mean, they can get some serious competition from the Dutch.
Yeah, if the Dutch actually challenge you, you can lose a lot of that money.
But that's only if the Dutch actually challenge you.
And when you are the Dutch, I guess they're not going to challenge you.
No.
Where's the monument map mode?
It is in...
Economic, I'm assuming? Everything is in economic now. Trade value. There's so many map modes.
Diplomatic.
Oh,
It's gotta be-
diplomatic. Interesting.
Actually, no, it's not.
Political. There's one. I know there's one. Oh, maybe it's in
There is
geographic.
one. No, there definitely is one. Yeah, there it is, geographic. Great projects is what it's called.
Great project. Right.
Not monuments, even though the feature's called monuments.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there is a gradient of color. It's just not super visible, I think. No, actually, there's not. You can see the level when you put your finger on it, but hey.
And
Suggestion for our friends at Tinto, just make a color gradients about which level of upgrade it has been. So we can tell who has upgraded what.
That's good. Oh, blue flames, blue flames.
Aha!
Kingdom of God against Andalusia,
Okay, false hope.
allied with Desmond.
Oh, Persia is in though.
Who's Persia fighting?
Oh, they are on the Andalusian side. Are they willing to make a stand?
They're moving en masse.
Interesting. Oh yeah, that's an amount of troops.
And Serbia's giving them access. So even though Serbia and the Papal States have been very friendly throughout the entire game, Serbia's opened their borders.
Well, also, literally all the troops are in Andalusia now. They have nothing in Italy proper, depending on how fast they can march through Serbia, and they are coming fast.
I mean, part of the question here will be, will Sicily give them access? Sicily's given them
Oh,
access.
Serbia's joining too.
This is some sneaky stuff. Sicily has access too.
Serbia just joined.
On Andalusia side?
Yes.
Oh, that's a backstab. Because even though they've never been formally allied, they have never fought a war against each other because they were very friendly.
Yeah, everybody's moving in, and I don't know if the Pope is realizing. No, so far all the troops are still in Andalusia proper. They're gonna have to take some time to siege those provinces to get what they need. Also, if they have to, they have to go through all the miners. Yeah, the miners have not upgraded their forts, so their vassals should be easy to siege down. But still,
I'm just looking at the difference in armies here. So we've got 287,000 infantry against 97,000, 42,000 cavalry against 21,000, 172,000 artillery against just 41.
yeah, and all Serbia has to. I mean, Serbia has to take 3 forts. That's an amount. But although they brought a lot of cannons, and have those forts been upgraded? This one has. This one has. Okay, they have level 4 forts, but there's 3 forts to knock down, and then they can pour down Italy, and there's no more big
Mamelukes
defensive turn.
are fighting the Pope too.
Okay, so yeah, they started their own war, but this time France has been pulled off because
Yeah,
France
they
is
have.
an ally.
So
Will
Mamelukes are
France
finally
join the? Oh, France cannot join the other one because they just attacked Andalusia recently. It's an
Bingo.
offensive war.
Yep.
And that's a smart play.
So just looking at the Great Power Map mode, we've got Kingdom of God number 1 versus Mamelukes at number 2, Great Britain's 3, and then Persia at 4. Serbia is 8. So there's a lot of great powers going at it right now. And here we go. Serbia's arrived in Italy. This is the first time.
Yes, they need to take those. I don't think they're gonna be able to take the free. They should really be able to take Trentino as fast as they can because this is the dangerous fort you don't want to be sitting on for long because it's a mountain.
Yep.
They got one. They need to knock down Treviso and they need to continue toward Trentino and Tyrol. Although the Pope's probably bringing people. Andalusia is gonna actually try to just delay them by Nisa and just at least act as a watchman, telling them when is the Pope coming in numbers. Come on, like they should be pushing for Treviso now. Like I know it's not great, but they should
Persia.
start getting those sieges down.
Persia might be doing it.
Yeah,
90K.
because they need that one and they need Trentino and then they can power down Italy proper and then those start getting good terrain.
Andalusia fighting the Pope and getting absolutely brutalized. The Kingdom of God 130 discipline.
God, they just wiped them on a defensive terrain. Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah, that was pretty ugly. But Persia also has 120, 130 discipline, so they're going to be able to fight. Zimbabwe's in this war.
The terrain is against them in Treviso, and again, the fight for Trentino is going to be difficult.
Yeah, so Zimbabwe.
Oh, they took Treviso already. They are trying to push on Trentino. They're not going to get it in time, which means we're going to have a battle on that mountain.
Yeah, but it's only 40k. They have another 70, another 40 nearby, but they're
not pushing
moving.
it. Oh, they're going to have to take that mountain of battle.
Yeah, they're assaulting. 3,000 still remaining.
Yeah, here was the
Battle is
fight.
joined, 100k.
Here was the
40.
fight. That's difficult fight on the mountain. They have to pull at the right time. The Pope is slowly flinching.
Persia has 135 discipline. They actually have more than the Pope.
Yeah.
Pope coming in with another 29k.
They need to time their movements. I think they're going too fast.
They are going way too fast. They're panicking a bit. The Pope, I think, might hold, although they don't have any other reinforcements nearby. That's it.
That's all they
another
got, and there's
90K.
another 90k. Their sheer numbers will probably win the day. There's still like 20,000 in the first rank. The Pope first rank is still bigger. Right now they have 25k. Oh, they're putting reserve back though.
They have another 11k mercenaries coming in, but they have no morale, so they're not really going to add anything.
No, I don't think this is gonna.
That's it.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to actually kill the 11k.
Oh my God!
They're
They
locked in,
reached that
dead.
just bye. And all that remains is
They
cannons.
only retreated one province. That's dangerous, because all that they need to do now is assault that
Take
fort.
the fort, and they are killing it because it is a 64% already. How many?
Yeah, they are assaulting.
Oh yeah, they have
Garrison
5
is going down.
siege. They have a leader with 5 siege. That explains why all those forts are falling so fast.
1,200. I mean, the number of garrison troops is falling very, very slowly.
Yeah.
600, 500, 300, 150, gone.
Oh, the Mamluks are gonna fight around Gibraltar, and I think this battle is gonna go on the French. Oh yeah, it's a mountain. It's a mountain with the. Oh no, the French are just sitting around. They're not in the. Aren't they in the water?
Against Mamluks, they are, yeah.
Yes, but they're not joining the fight.
They don't need to.
No, I mean, like they did not pop in the fight. I'm not sure why.
And there we go. Because they control the straight crossing, that 60k is dead. Yeah, this is what I feared. So we have not seen Tunis, now known as the Mamelukes, fight a single-player war yet. They haven't. Not actually.
Well, I guess they're
appearing.
going to have a harder time now that they don't have an army.
Yeah, and what
Well,
I've seen
If
of
they
them,
have all of North Africa and no army.
how much they were struggling against AI Mamelukes, who was down to like 5 provinces, and they kept on.
Well, I
not
guess they
killing them.
are AI Mamluks
They
now.
are such a paper tiger. Like I have no faith whatsoever in the Mamelukes at all. I just
Actually,
don't.
Somalia just joined on the Andalusian side, because that would be a good time if you want some land in Africa.
Yeah, so it definitely looks like
Wait.
people are rallying around the anti-Kingdom of God side. So
Oh yeah, Texas has joined now. Romania. Interesting. I like that fight at first, but now I feel like maybe some balance would be needed.
nah, you need more people attacking the Pope. Come on, Swabia, you're the ones who kickstarted this. You are the ones who are rallying the people in the anti-papal frenzy. They answered the call.
Oh.
Where are you?
Oh.
Swabia, where are you? You literally made a video about
Wait
this.
a minute. Silly as a truce with the Pope, which means they'd probably drop the alliance.
Yeah, they did.
That's. I don't like this. I don't like alliance breakers.
I mean, who would?
Some people okay with that. I don't know. Okay, so where are the Pope forces? Though they have a bunch of forces. That's a lot of number against them, and they have lost a good force now. The best play they can hope is like maybe Firenze as a defensive place, unless they hope that people are stupid enough to try to fight them in Piedmont or Como.
And they're going to need France to come over to help them. But then France isn't in the war against most of those guys. No, France just isn't.
No.
So what they need to do is have France defend against the Mamelukes, and then that 42k stack of papal troops needs to go and help the Pope.
Yeah.
Okay, so battles are kicking off all over the place here as they try
wow.
to starve off
Yeah.
the reinforcements.
Good battle.
80k against 50, 60 against 30.
I think the Battle of Firenze has a better shot at being won if the second side cannot reinforce.
Pope just retreated. Pope is about to get himself stack wiped because he retreated into a silly place.
Yeah.
40k are moving in, so I don't think they will actually get stack wiped. So that's not a
Yeah,
fight they
they'll
wanted
probably
to
at
take.
least give them a respite. I think they're going to win the day on Firenze unless they can be reinforced. Yeah, Firenze
Yeah,
is
they
going to
will.
be won, but
And then if they can move quickly to reinforce in Genoa.
they could because the morale is still up. Oh my god, they're coming back.
Yeah, they are.
And I think they are holding.
Do they have force
I mean-
march yet? I don't think so, no.
No, and the first bit marching are probably going to be a lot of like mold infantry, which has lots of cannon.
Yep. And there we go, 80k against 143. They have the higher morale. They will win that fight.
Yes.
There we go. 2 victories for the Pope.
Yeah. So here's the problem that usually happens when you bring a lot of allies. You end up having like numbers that are highly inflated by the number of cannons you have that cannot fight because everyone is bringing their like width of cannon on every stack or every other stack,
Yep.
and you only need 1, maybe 2 for a spare at some point, and that's it. Everything else should be infantry and maybe some horses. If you are playing alone, you know that, and you don't overstack cannons on all your piles, but
That's a very good point. Meanwhile, the Pope is still the one that's defending against...
oh, and they are
Mamelukes.
pulling back. I mean, they can't try to hope that the Pope is gonna try to take those hard battles on the Tyrol Mountains.
So France doesn't seem to be doing very much. They do have their capital about to fall to particularists.
Oh, go Michel.
Wait, Westphalia? That's not Swabia, though. It's because they want to watch. Usually if you have a 1k condottieri stack, it's so that you can send them over just so you can see the fights.
Is that dangerous? You could tell your enemies where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's a two-edged sword. Usually just the other player being nice if they
I
don't
just would
tend to
like to mention that Great Britain has stopped training the troops.
Yeah, I think that's why France has started to return to
They're at
Britain,
war
because they've
now.
seen that.
They have joined the Pope. Ah, we are balancing the numbers now.
So Britain is in the fight alongside France and the Kingdom of God. If we just take a quick look at the diplomatic map mode, the nation that's at war with the most is the Pope. So this is how things look at the moment. It is most of Africa, the United States, and also
Persia,
Middle
Chagatai.
East.
Oh, even actually, no, it goes all the way. Look at India.
Oh,
Nepal is
too.
in.
So all of the very, very far-off nations that have definitely got bones to pick with the Kingdom of God, because these are all the nations that the Kingdom of God killed.
The question is, will
Back for
Westphalia just stand idle?
Well, their main ally, Britain's in the war now.
Yes, but then if they do it, is that an escalation that Livonia will consider necessary to... Oh, they cannot... Oh, they could technically join the fight on both sides because they're not allied with any of the major offenders. They are allied with Great Britain and Serbia.
Okay, we've got another battle. 90k Serbian troops against 71k Papal troops. 110 discipline on the Serbian side against 130 on the Popes. 6.1 morale against 6.9. Wow, the Pope has a lot of morale.
Hey, he's God after all.
That's true. They got God on their side. What
They
could
got God
possibly
on
go
their side,
wrong?
and also discipline.
Westphalia did stop drilling. Interesting. So we may well see Westphalia interceding too.
If they time the numbers well, they should be okay. But yeah, they should realize now that it is way too much artillery they bring up on most of those fights. If you look at the battle numbers, there is
80k artillery right now.
yeah, there's 80k artillery, and you can only field about what is it?
30.
30, yeah, something like that. Although they have... Oh no, they have managed to retreat 52k of cannons
Combat
still.
width right now is 29, so you want a backline of 29. Although, as chat is pointing out, cannons do retreat now, so it's not necessarily a bad thing to have slightly more than 29k.
Yeah, that is
But you don't
true.
need 110.
You don't take as much moral damage on the second row.
And there we go.
And the
The Pope has
Pope
won
carried
again.
the day. Impressive. Oh, Britain has come. That's why. They just threw like 90k in the mix.
Yes, they did. And there are another 90k on the way. France currently holding steady. I wonder if France is holding in just in case Westphalia gets involved, or just in case Livonia gets involved. Because Livonia, Russia, they would break this balance of power.
Yes, indeed.
And possibly Gotland. If Gotland joined against the Pope, Gotland has the means to destroy the Pope's navies, and then you're opening up the entire coastline to invasion.
Would Gotland try to do anything about that? Wait, no, Gotland is in a war with natives. They are not interested in this for now.
I mean,
Livonia is still drilling. What is
yeah, I don't think Livonia and Russia will get involved
Russia
unless
is not paying for the troops.
the one way that Russia might get involved is they decide to attack Persia.
Actually, no. Yeah, as a backstab, yes. What about
Astrakhan, I think, is a Russian.
Mewar and Orissa could also try to just have a bet at either Nepal or Persia while they're busy somewhere else.
Yeah, is Nepal moving troops anywhere? Because they are in this war.
Prussia of the East is busy, I guess.
I actually know where their troops are. Let's scroll down, take a look. 34k. Oh no, they are.
No, they have one stack.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
not a big stack, but they have one stack of like 30k plus some cannons.
Meanwhile, the Pope is trying to retake the fort of Brescia. It's not the Trentino one that they really want.
Yeah, and
But it
that's
is
the one
hills.
that I guess people are going to be willing to fight for. A good move to take that fort early, because this is a really bad battle coming.
Yep.
Although,
Mamelukes have crossed. They're currently trying to siege
Actually, they-
Gibraltar.
yeah, they might be able to pin them down though, because you have to stand on Treviso to reinforce to reinforce Tyrol, and they can come from Padova to block your reinforcement if they're smart about it.
United States and Texas are both in the war against the Pope.
Will Texas do anything?
Doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think they
that
have.
was mostly just chat saying they're in the war. Whose side?
America also is, but yeah, I don't see them doing much right now. I am curious which side will Westphalia join, if any. Oh, they're going back to training some of their troops. I see.
Westphalia is allied to Britain. I can't see them breaking that alliance.
Yeah, they have started drilling again though, so I'm assuming they're not gonna do much on that one.
And Westphalia's armies are also really strong. They're kind of another Persia.
Okay, they took the fort in Brescia, so now we're gonna look at the fight for Treviso and
There they go.
can they get military access from Swabia?
Swabia won't give it. Swabia has been attacked repeatedly by the Pope.
They do have conditional military access from the Kingdom of God, so I guess does that mean the others can go
Means
through
one of their
too?
allies has it.
Okay.
How large is the Livonian army? The Livonian army right now stands at 108 regiments.
That's pretty good. That's not Britain level, but that's pretty good. Do we have it?
It's not Britain level, but Livonia's military stats are ridiculous. They have 130% discipline and 40% infantry combat.
This is, they have shown before that they were pretty tough, but they are in the middle of a religious turmoil. What happened? Oh, it's just the center of reformation screwing with them.
The Pope has backed off from Treviso, and Nepal is now going to go and stand on it and say, "Come on then, what you gonna do?" Pope is building more artillery.
More artillery.
Well, actually, the Pope needs artillery. That's not the other faction. Although with Britain, actually they don't.
Probably not. I
You
mean,
know,
you only need as much. You need some cannons, but not all the cannons.
I bet they're doing this for the sieges.
Oh, Chagatai has arrived now, and Hassa too.
Yeah, Hoss is part of the Middle East alliance. Oh, we got another battle. 200,000 immediately jump in.
Yeah, and
Pope
this is on
44K.
flatland now, so it's gonna be down to who is the biggest. That I think the general on Persia side managed to have one more pip
I mean, he is
because he has
3-star
6
against
shock,
2.
4 fire. That is,
3-star versus 2.
yeah, he's just 1 pip better than his friend, and they have less morale but more discipline.
Britain's jumped in, but Britain's angling to attack the reinforcement stack. There's 73,000 Persians sitting next door that they're going to attack into to prevent the reinforcements from arriving. So it's now 340,000 on one side, 66 against 64 on the other. Britain still hasn't committed, though. They have 90k that are still hanging back, and
God.
Britain is using force march to join the battles as quickly as possible.
Yes, and I think the Persian side is. I mean, Chagatai is gonna come. Are they gonna be enough to carry the? Oh, that gives them a morale boost. But now Britain is joining. Britain is joining even more. Are they gonna be defeated on both fronts? I think they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Sent off on the one side, they're going to be reinforced on the other. They have just arrived and they are being seen off as well.
Wow.
Boom.
So with those forts, I think no one can get a conclusive, like, pure win of stacks. So that's gonna play by the numbers, I guess.
This is going to be fully about attrition. France still messing around in the south. There is still a papal stack of 40k down here that they really need to go and send to the Italian front. Let France deal with the Mamelukes. Mamelukes have to cross, and like I said, I'm not convinced by their actual military capability.
Livonia has stopped drilling and is marching south.
Yes, they have. They're marching towards.
They are in the war.
Westphalia.
They are in the war on God's side. They have joined the Pope.
Interesting.
And Westphalia too. Okay, this is probably gonna turn into like this big box side, I think. Let's look at the numbers. Ugh, I don't like those numbers.
So if we take a look now, this is the First World War.
This is the First World War.
Have a look.
for
Like
real.
this is crazy.
Who
that
is
is
sitting
most of the
aside?
world.
The
Russia.
Indians are the only ones sitting by, and the Indians,
Russia, silly.
and I guess Indonesia.
Yeah, like the far east aren't getting involved. Anyone past Nepal.
Oh, and now they can more easily take back the Trentino fort.
And there is
because-
still notably one nation that is still not involved. The nation that arguably started all of this with his propaganda video saying we must rise up against the Pope.
Yes.
Nothing.
No.
Swabia is just like, idiots.
The only thing they're doing is showing people what's happening north by having they hired one Swabian. They conducted one. You need to
Gotland's still neutral. That's true.
yeah they are. So
I reckon Gotland's watching this with an eye to go after Texas. That's my guess. Gotland has interests elsewhere. They don't really care what happens in Europe. Gotland is the Britain of this timeline.
I guess so. They're just happy to count the points.
Yeah. Count the coins, dish out loans with exorbitant
They're gonna
interest
try
rates.
to do a push on Treviso. The Pope is backing off.
Don't think I
Is
would
that a feign retreat?
that. No, it's a real one.
Oh, because the fort in
Oh, they didn't get it. They didn't get it. It was down to 3,000 manpower, and they've caught the Brits in Trentino.
Oh, good job. Good job. That's
However, 70k are moving into Treviso. They're cutting off the reinforcements.
yeah, they could move from Swabia though, or is Swabia not giving meal access? Swabia must be giving meal access now since they're giving meal access to Westphalia to come from the north.
Yeah.
So they should be able to walk around and reinforce it from the other side if they really need to,
So
which they're not doing, but they could.
The British 200,000 against 250,000 in the mountains of Treviso, Trentino. Well, in Treviso, well, these names are annoyingly similar.
Yes.
We've got the Pope holding up the hordes.
God, how do they get so much morale in Great Britain? 7.6. Oh, it's a crusade now.
Oh, well, I mean, they are fighting the Pope, so.
They are fighting on the side of the Pope, so they have the crusade bonus of 10% and the papal bless.
And who's the crusade against, I wonder?
How?
Mamluks, maybe? No, Persia. No, Persia's.
Oh no, it's Livonia. It is Livonia. Livonia is the one.
And there we go. The
carrying
Pope
stats.
and Britain have won in Trentino, so the siege continues.
And Treviso is
Treviso
probably
also just won.
Oh god. Yeah, they have a big. Oh wait, Russia is mobilizing, and they have joined against the Pope.
Against the Pope. So Russia's now fighting Livonia again.
I mean, they should probably try to attack their backyards rather than fight where everybody is, but force them to split their forces.
Yeah, they're just dogpiling into the same battle. Russia could do so much damage to Livonia right now if they just swept across.
They're marching south.
Yeah, they're marching south.
Do they have an agreement that they will only settle this on Italy proper?
Maybe. Or else their allies are going, ah! The British are here. The British are coming. The British are coming. Call the Minutemen of Russia.
Oh, Japan is in the war too now. Also on the side of.
Were they allied to Russia?
Oh, so
No, allied to Andalusia. Directly.
how are they gonna come though? And are they sending anything? I would respect them for trying. They are actually marching through Chagatai, and I think they're gonna go for the Russian border and maybe try to attack through Livonia. Oh yeah, because they don't know about Central Europe, so they can't cross Serbia right now.
Oh yeah, it's blocked. Although they're in the war. No, they couldn't cross Sicily because Sicily's not in the war.
Yeah, Sicily is the weird one that stays in the middle and doesn't want to take
Sicily
any
is
side.
preventing all of the Far East nations from arriving by land because of that one province of fog of war,
Yeah.
which they can't march through because they're not in the war. So it's not a legit movement. Meanwhile, Trentino and Treviso have both fallen. It is
Now it's
in
going to be
Friuli.
Friuli. It's
That's just pills.
I guess it's a better fight because they can't stop your reinforcement from coming this time.
Yeah.
So I guess if I was Persia, I would try to take it.
I think you pretty much have to. What's happening in
They
the
have minus
south?
35%, so they can win on this. What about the naval game? Has anyone? I mean, challenging the Pope and Great Britain is going to be really difficult.
Yeah, the only one that might be able to put a dent on them would be Gotland, and Gotland's not in. Or maybe Orissa with
Actually,
their huge number of
The
heavies.
British fleet is just busy doing nothing in London, so I guess nobody else. I suppose Serbia has not tried to invest in an insane amount of galleys like the Ottomans would do. Ah, there we are. Now we have numbers gathering. Oh, and Russia has brought a 6/6 general.
Wow.
So, you know, even if they maybe don't have the military stats, they have the pips. They're all going to be bringing the pips. Oh, and the Pope is sitting without a general on Friuli. I would march on them because that 6 shock first wall or fire is going to murder them.
They're actually moving half their stack back.
Yeah, but there's no, like, the big generals are far away. They should take that fight right now and use
Here they go, here they go, here they
and
go.
there we go. No leader.
Persia
Don't
coming
do
in.
this at home, kids. You see how much you take if you don't have those numbers at first.
Yeah, they do now have a leader, but he's not a very good one. Although the Russian general still hasn't joined. Oh no, here he comes. Here comes the Russian general. Who is
Yeah, and
this?
that's going to be a 6 difference.
Peter Tottelben.
Yes, and that is how you do it.
200k against 40.
And that is,
boom.
oh, that was a massacre.
Yeah, that was. And that is why you always assign generals to your front line.
Yep.
Right, you were asking how on earth Britain got such high morale. Let's take a look now.
No, that was not. I think the game was telling me it was Britain, but actually it was Livonia.
Oh yeah, Livonia, defender of the faith for most of the game.
Defender of the faith.
So they have expansion zealotry, border between east and west, military drill, power projection, army tradition, prestige, papal blessing, relentless drill, and crusade, giving them 7.73.
Oh, another battle
Another
is taking
battle.
up in Treviso this time.
So this is the Persian side trying to push in
Oh,
against
the
the
Russian
British.
general is still making a huge difference with his 6/6. Pips, people, pips. Oh, the numbers are back. Okay, I had some
Peter
issue.
Tottleben, although Russia only has 115% discipline, so they are
Or
lacking
marching
behind the
too
others.
fast. But again, remember, chat, that this is like half the castle in different rooms trying to coordinate on the battle. There is a high chance that they're gonna overstack.
Yep. This is not like a regular multiplayer game where everyone's gathered together in a Discord. Although they probably are, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how they've been organizing that, actually.
I
except
think they're just
shouting.
running around and screaming.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat working, actually, right now. They are carrying the day. And they still have 140,000 sitting back. This Russian general is... Pyotr is my guy today. It's really historical to have a good Russian generals those days, but you know what? They found them.
Especially if they're called Peter.
Oh,
I
wait.
mean,
Something just turned out. The sudden... Oh, no, it's because
That's
some
Westphalia coming in.
reinforcements... Yeah,
and
reinforcements were
Westphalia's
behind.
forces are good. They're another of the 130% discipline.
Oh man, that Russian general is really not historical. But he's doing God's work. Well, like Eastern Orthodox God's work. But
Another God's work.
yeah, one of those. But yeah, I guess right now, if I were there, I would try desperately to roll a better general.
800,000 are fighting
Oh,
in this
we
fight.
have a 5-6 that the Pope finally found, and they're gonna throw him in the mix, maybe? They need to offset those pips.
Westphalia's arriving, 32k. They've got more Westphalians in the north. Westphalia coming around the side. I feel like they got lost on the way, perhaps. Are we going to see the first million battle? We are. If that Persian stack arrives, there's going to be a million.
They are. And
there we go.
think the
1 million men.
Yeah.
in the hills of Treviso.
Oh, but they just took a crossing. Wait, how did Russia suddenly take a crossing penalty?
One of their reinforcement stacks without a general. Doesn't have the maneuver.
But they're still gonna carry the day because there's another Russian reserve coming. Oh no, 60k Westphalians are coming from nowhere.
Yeah. 62 and Westphalia again. They're really good at fighting. And it does look like Russia's going to lose. Peter.
That -1 on the crossing was really unfortunate.
1 million men fighting in one battle. This really is the First World War.
Yeah, in 1589, that's pretty realistic.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good... I mean, it's going to be hard to say because there are so many different wars.
And Japan is slowly coming across the Russian to the Livonian border.
I mean, in the
It does seem like there is an agreement to not extend the France, because so far they've just not moved around this place.
In the original battle, which is Andalusia versus Kingdom of God, Kingdom of God's lost 910,000, Andalusia's side's lost 926,000. And that's not including people like Russia, who have separate wars.
Now, Swabia, you said death to the Pope, and you're just sitting there.
Yep.
I mean, they are a sandwich right now between the Pope and Westphalia. That would make an interesting opening of the front.
Yeah, there'd be an interesting borderline, especially because they're basically the Northern Alps. Like their farmland front line would get crushed, like just like every single time they fight against Westphalia.
Oh, someone just
It's
mentioned,
the
yeah, the
Alps.
Pope is tapped out on Manpower already.
Oh yeah, he is.
So they do have some professionalism to burn.
Yeah, and some of their allies have a lot of professionalism.
Oh, and
like
England has
France
lost like
does.
half their... I mean, they're not the only ones, I'm pretty sure. Like Serbia is running dry. Persia still has 50k.
Serbia's running dry, but Serbia also has 97% of professionalism.
Yeah, so we can afford to lose
Persia,
some.
44k.
Russia still has a... Well, I mean, Russia at least has a lot of men to still throw in the gauntlet if they have to. Oh, and we're seeing some naval battles.
Oh.
Who is challenging the Kingdom of God? Oh, no, it's...
Gotland. Wait. Gotland's in?
No. Did Gotland actually finally join? I would not believe it.
Yep, they did against Kingdom of God.
Ah!
Gotland has thrown in the gauntlet.
Now it's interesting. Are they going to try to raid Great Britain, attack them on the money?
That's on the same side as Livonia. So no, they're not threatened by that. I was just trying to run a couple of calculations. But yeah, 207,000 Gotlander fleet. Hang on, no, they're against the Kingdom of God.
Yes.
So yeah, they are at odds with Livonia.
So they could...
yeah, they are.
Yes, they
Livonia
are. On
could
the Mamluk
finally
side.
secure southern Sweden
If they had any troops.
if they had any troops spare.
Right now they mostly have rebels to spur up north. Oh, but they're making new stacks.
So now the updated map of the world. This really is looking...
And Japan
Bloody.
marched all the way to Rojhev and is now pulling back and going through the steps again. What is this meta plan that Oh, they're changing their decision, and now they're going through Anatolia. Oh, they're gonna try to attack on the. Oh, gearing up to attack on Gibraltar. I have no idea what the Japanese plan is. Those people are just plotting a top 10 enemy betrayal. Oh, and Westphalia is trying to outmaneuver through neutral Swabia.
Yep.
And interesting.
Here's some of the back line. Maybe try to stop some of the reinforcements arriving.
Oh yeah, because they're sitting in the mountain now.
And Westphalia they are really militarily strong. We've seen them.
They know what to do, but how many do they have? Because even if they're good, if everybody jumps on them while the rest is busy,
120k.
That's a number.
We've got Russia marching on Treviso again. Is it our main man Peter? It is our main man Peter.
It is Piotr or Peter.
Come on,
if
Peter.
you want to say.
You are the ancestor of Wrangel, I am sure. It's a thing in my community. There's a favored figure, Peter Wrangel, who's a Russian general in Harzwein Kaiserreich. And he used to have the capability of being the Tsar, the Prime Minister, the Minister of the Economy, a Field Marshal, and a General.
That's a man who gets really busy and doesn't sleep.
Yes, exactly. The Black Baron. So generally, if you see a Russian general called Peter, he's pretending to be Wrangel. He's bringing in the Wrangel.
He's channeling him.
Channeling, that's the word. Thank you.
So we see some troops looking at each other up. No, there's 21k troops without a general sitting.
There you
on
go,
Sicily.
Faceless. That's him. I even have a emote on my channel.
Perfect.
Wrangel and Hilfric, yep, the stars. Okay, so the Pope is coming into Treviso once again.
And some people are marching north. They're going to try to undercut. Oh, but no, because Persia and the Mamluks are also on the move north. I think they're seeing each other's play and trying to sit on Lien to make sure that they are going to cut them off through the mountains if they have to. Russia is not winning this one so far.
No. The reinforcement waves have been good.
They all, and
yeah,
from the north,
is pushing now as well.
Yep, they are trying to maneuver. I like a good battle of maneuver. And Desmond is trying the 8k troops to the fight. Go, Desmond!
Yes, Desmond! Brilliant.
Although that battle is really not going on the Russian side right now.
No, they're getting absolutely demolished.
I think, oh, they got another -1 crossing again.
Westphalia is actually doing a really good... They're tying up 200,000 men.
Yes.
200,000. That is a good investment.
Although there is a risk that if they retreat badly, they can get wiped because they're not having any fort to protect them around. This is neutral land.
True. I don't know what the shattered retreat rules for that are. I would imagine they would still march back behind like Salzburg.
Maybe.
There's still a direct path. It's not far away.
Okay, let's see how far they're retreating. Yeah, they are reaching all the way back home.
Yeah, so the Westphalians lost the northern fight, so they're going to have the reinforcements coming in now. Serbia marching, force marching.
Can they come in time?
There in time?
Can they come in time? They might be. They might going to be
no
down to the
back line.
wire. They have force march now. I think
Yes,
they can make
they've
it.
arrived.
They made
Serbia's
it.
in, but they still have barely any cannon actually in the front line, in the back line.
Oh yeah, they need to reinforce. Oh, it's happening now.
Yeah,
they are having people. Okay, now. But Great Britain still has 90k to throw in the mix.
Yeah, so there's another 50k Russians about to come in. This is 900k.
Yeah, maybe they should start to pace themselves a bit now. Oh no, actually the first rank. No, they have 100k in reserve right now in the battle. There's no point in throwing everybody now. They're going to take extra attrition. But...
And there we go, we've got another million. Second million battle of this conflict on the battlefields of Treviso. This place is going to be running red with blood.
I think there's a slight advantage for looking at the numbers. I think the day's going the Russian way, although it's going to...
This is so close because the Pope has got no backline and the Russians had no front line there.
No, they're winning. They're winning.
Yep, and there we go. Russia won. 21% on the siege of Treviso.
And we can hear people cheering through the castle.
Yeah, you can hear it exactly. It's right there.
See, every time I have to cast one of those Death Clash and or lands, I keep looking at the battle screen and say, my god, we should have refactored. It's because like you have to look at the tooltip to figure out how the battle is going, and that is really annoying. I have been willing to do that for a long time, but I need an artist and some time on EU4 for that. So if you want to know my manager's email...
Oh, brilliant. So... Quick update on the casualties, taking a look at this. This is again the main fight. 1.1 million, almost 1.2 million on the Kingdom of God side, 1.3 million on the Andalusian side, and it is the Kingdom of God that was declared on. So let's actually, there are actually only 2 wars. And then in the other war, it's 283,000 for 134,000. So it is actually almost exactly equal. Because even though they've taken more casualties on this one, they've taken less on the other.
I like the good balanced battle. I wonder now, are they all regrouping in southern Italy right now, getting the numbers back?
Yes, they are.
Wondering what they're going to pull up next. Treviso is going to fall.
205% ahead of time.
They really wanted that boost. Wait, does 16 give you new units? Or is it... I can't remember.
Because I just saw all of Britain's morale drop, so I think they must have been new units.
No, they're not the only one. Serbia has 16
No, 15
too.
was the new unit. 16 doesn't.
Actually, most people have it at this point. This is
they
crazy.
do. So no, that was not a big one. Can we find someone that is on 15 at the moment?
Okay, so now here comes like, can they take Trentino in time? That's going to be difficult.
15 gives you the chamber demi cannon, which is when artillery becomes relevant.
Ah,
so it gives you the new unit and also artillery fire +1, just a flat +1.
So most yeah. So I think let's look at the tech map mode. How many people have that? I'm assuming most people.
Most of the people on the front line do. If I find... Where was tech again? This is the one that I keep on having to look for.
Economic. 16. Russia is behind. They do not have it.
15.
But Persia has it.
Andalusia doesn't either. They're on 15.
And Nepal doesn't have it either. But I guess they don't all have to bring the cannons, especially if they're coming along with like this. Oh, and of course the Pope has to take that fight.
United States on 14.
On the mountains, which is not a good fight to get.
Peter once again trying to push through. Oh, his morale is just collapsing as he's in free fall.
Yeah,
he's going to need to pull back.
Yeah.
I don't reinforce that.
Oh, but Chagatai did not get them. And that's the thing when you're that many people.
Chagatai's cavalry hordes are being butchered.
Yeah,
there we go, stack wide.
They died.
That very much felt like a charge of the Light Brigade. They just forgot to tell them, don't attack, don't attack, no!
So I'm told that Orissa might have gotten involved now.
Oh,
yeah, the Indians are fighting each other, actually. Orissa is trying to take on Malacca and Brunei. I guess they all like, you know what, you guys fight, I'm just going to take over India and Indonesia, and you guys chill.
So yeah, we do indeed have Malacca currently under siege by Orissa. Lots of forces moving south.
And Orissa has the number alone to just win that war.
But they're only going to be able to take the Malacca.
Oh, although the number of boats is actually in favor of the defenders, so they might not be able to go much further than that strait.
That's why Orissa was building all of their heavy ships, because they were foreseeing
They have
this
ambitions.
Yeah.
Can they get what they want and just sit on Singapore without trying to push further?
Because the only battles have actually been fought are at sea so far.
Oh, yeah.
One victory, one loss.
Yeah, and that's going to be difficult. There's a lot of boats in the Strait of Johor now. Yep. And peasants are joining the fray, fighting. Well, okay, they did not last very long, but
fighting,
they tried.
Dying for their cause.
Ignore the peasant rabble, right?
Exactly. Yeah, let's ignore the peasant rabble and head back over to the other fight and see if anything's happening.
I'll keep a look on Orissa just in case. They have their fleets, but right now, yeah, I don't know. I guess
they're probably repairing, would be my guess. Did Malacca move their capital?
I don't know. No, their capital is Johor, I think. No, they are. No, sorry, it's Siak. So yeah, their capital is at least out of reach.
But that's why they need to have the
boats.
Yeah,
they need the boats to kind of force them out.
Meanwhile,
although they are going in. Oh my God, they're going in.
Italy.
They're going with way less boats actually, but
You give us the audio of what's happening there, and I'll just keep my screen on what's happening here, because we've got two
Yes,
fights
they
going.
have better engagement width. They have the same amount of morale. I don't think they're winning that one though. There is an advantage of.
It's
They have
18
the
heavies
admiral.
against
The admiral
10.
bonus is clearly on their side. They have a 4-5. Yeah, the real problem they're getting right there is the firepower of the leaders.
Fire
The
two.
leaders are clearly on the other side, and I think this is how it's gonna turn. Oh, look at all those heavies that are getting sunk or disengaging.
Yeah, that's a lot of heavies disengaging right now. I
Although-
mean, the other
although-
side only has 7 left, so in terms of sheer numbers, it's on Orisa's side, not on Malaka's.
But they're not doing enough damage to just force them out of here, unless they have more reinforcement. No, they just decided to run away.
And there we go, Orisa has just backed off from the naval engagement in the Straits of Johor. Meanwhile, we have the fight once again for Treviso. They are determined to fertilize these verdant fields.
Yeah, someone was mentioning the Sons, so I think they are definitely role-playing like World War One all over again, with
It
like all
feels that way,
those
doesn't it?
Italian and Austrians just fighting and fighting and fighting. And so far, it seems that the numbers are favoring the Papal side, at least on the morale.
Yeah, but there are currently 500,000 Persians and Mamelukes against the 200,000 Livonians and Papal, although the
Yeah.
Brits are still just hanging
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, and they have thrown way more reinforcement early than the other side. And how much? Oh yeah, the reserve are shrinking really, really fast compared to the other side. This is not going well.
Pope's forces are dropping, but Britain keeps on reinforcing. Britain has arrived, replenishing that morale.
Yeah, they have at least 100k to throw more. I mean, if Russia is trying to time their reinforcement, this is a smart play for.
That's another million battle. 3rd million battle of the war.
Oh god, we are getting. Oh, the number of casualties sometimes goes pretty high though.
Does.
I've seen Livonia lose 4,000 in one roll.
It doesn't happen very often. Like at the moment, because the amount of damage both sides are doing are still not colossal. Like the amount of manpower they have versus damage output means that this is a war of morale, really. But long term, it is going to be about who has the deeper pockets.
Oh, yeah, nope. The Russian
There we go.
front has collapsed, and they're gonna have to go back. There's. Oh, and those poor Mamluks were retreated on Trentino.
Oh, no.
No, Mamluks! Oh, they're not.
40K,
Oh,
100K
they died. Okay. Now. Okay.
Meanwhile, France has
Oh.
been fighting against Andalusia.
And Japan. But I think they can't cross Gibraltar. Although Gotland is now showing up in the Gulf of, yeah,
Okay, so
Gotland is showing up in the Mediterranean now.
France has now formally joined the Andalusian War, so they're now actually conquering Andalusia, which will get them the war score. That's why the Pope was so reluctant to leave, because he wanted Andalusia is the war goal.
Yes. Oh, and now Gotland is trying to clean out the Mediterranean of any other naval presence.
Oh, was that the second stack wipe for the Mamluks? Yeah, see, I've not been impressed by the military capabilities of the Mamluks so far. They haven't been with it. They very much look big, but they don't throw any weight. I'm sorry, but they just don't. Meanwhile, the entire Malaysian peninsula has been taken, but they're not able to force a crossing into Siak at the moment.
Yeah, and I don't know if they can get enough war score to force them to. Can you make can you force an offer without owning capital? I never remember.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, will they be able to? We only have 25% now.
You must have 50 in order to...
Yeah, they can. I don't think we can reach 50 right now, as it is.
This was going to be entirely about the naval war to allow you to get those crossings.
Is Orisa building more? If I were them, I would be building all the boats or
They
figuring
are
out a way.
building no boats.
No, they're not building any boats actually.
No boats for
Do
Orisa.
they have any naval idea? No, they just
No,
took
they took
trade.
trade.
Does
Diplomatics they could have. Like take maritime or something.
did Brunei?
Malacca has a free slot.
No.
Malacca has naval.
Aha! So they can get that morale bonus that will help out a bunch. Or find new allies to join on their side. if we
Wait,
can
naval has naval barrage cost minus 100. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know
That's pretty good.
That's really good, actually.
You can save a lot of mana on that one, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have another stalemate.
Swabia is smugly watching this, going, "I did this, and I'm still not involved."
Yeah, although they are risking the fact that if somebody decides to partition them now, they'll have no allies because everybody will be on a truce.
Yep, everyone will be on a truce. But then also everyone will be exhausted.
True.
So the only nations right now that are not
Oh,
involved...
Sicily has joined the war.
Oh, have
and they have joined the war against the Pope.
Against the Pope. Backstab!
The nation that has, so far, survived only at the whims of the Pope decided, you know what, I'll take my chances against the Pope.
It's time to become the Pope. Eat the Pope.
Yes.
Nom 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 nom.
Oh, and Swabia has a truce with Westphalia, but it's running out next year.
Sicily also has the most to gain from this. Because they are the ones that are directly adjacent.
Yes. If I were them, I would add more mountain forts, but they have a few already, which will stop the move that Westphalia tried earlier, and it's gonna force the front to be really like again fighting on these Sanso over and over again. I don't know which of those people is supposed to be role playing as Luigi Cardano, but
I love the fact that there are only 3 nations right now not involved in a player war. One of them is the one that basically caused this. Maywar's not in, Swabia's not in, and Siam's not in.
And
oh, and Jerusalem's not.
And Jerusalem, Brazil is not, and Maywar is also just sitting there.
Yeah, Maywar is probably watching that Orissa war going. Because I don't see any peaceful agreement between those two last. They have too much to gain.
They could gain a lot by backstabbing Orissa and just becoming Hindustan.
Yes, exactly.
This is a very powerful nation, and they don't have many people to challenge them on the money once they have all of this.
No, India is fantastically wealthy. Like, there's a lot of competition if you have people grabbing those different centers of trade. But if you control them all, ka-ching.
Yes, indeed. And now the Pope is unwilling to push on Friuli. Maybe they're hoping the other side will try to push on Treviso.
Yeah, this is going to have to be a counterattack of some kind.
That is a lot.
Can we actually take a look at how the numbers are looking? So we've got
Serbia's gone back to drilling. Like, you know what? I guess we're not in a rush.
So the Papal State side have 596,000 infantry against 136,000, 35,000 cavalry against 102,000, 248,000 guns against 299. So the Andalusian side still bringing the numbers. And then if we factor in the Mamelukes as well, that's a further 155,000 infantry, 13,000 cavalry and 44,000 artillery. So the numbers are firmly stacked against the Pope still. But I would say the Pope has the quality because they have Livonia, they have Britain, and they have themselves and Westphalia.
And they have a really good place to funnel all the attacks because nobody's willing to escalate this war on a larger front and have like fights in Livonia or Westphalia.
No.
Or even like just try maneuvering against Andalusia, because that would mean crossing Gibraltar unless you can get some boats to ferry you on the other side and hope that you can make a good landing.
Meanwhile, France is just continuing to gobble up Andalusia. War score is starting to tick up against them, 24% in that one, 36% in the Mamluk War.
Can they force peace Andalusia as long as their ally are fighting?
They can try, but again, they need 50% score to do it.
Can they get that if they fully occupy them?
I don't think so.
Even after 10 years when the allies stop counting?
At that point, maybe?
Mamluks have made another stack. Let's see if it gets a better a better fate than the other ones. Yeah, they are looking at each other right now. Some people are starting. The war is escalating. They have moved against Westphalia. Serbia is like, you know what? Why are we looking at these stupid mountains all the time where Germany is just right there?
Yes, the Serbians rushing across. And also, never fear, America's here in North Africa.
Oh. They could bring the Marines, actually, if they wanted to. But they have kilts. It's Americans with kilts. I respect that.
Yeah, it's a statement.
So now, what is Westphalia going to do? Because they have to decide. Do you stand the line or do you let your countryside burn?
Especially because Westphalia is much easier territory to go into compared to northern France.
I wonder if there was like some kind of agreement, like, okay, let's not escalate. The first one to pull the trigger and escalate this into like raiding some other's land is going to see the same retribution then. But again, they have to walk all across Swabia.
Yep. And Swabia is going to be quite happy to let people walk across their lands. They're like, we caused this and we're still not in it.
This is gonna be interesting. Let me just quickly.
What culture is America? Scottish. Highlander. Sorry, they're Highlander.
Meanwhile, Orissa is still looking at. That's gonna be difficult.
There can be
for
only
them.
one United States of America.
Where is the Orison fleet?
Whoever the USA joins wins world wars is historically proven.
To win, that is true.
I mean, yeah, they have 2 for 2. Can we see the development map mode?
Oh, I think the Orison.
Oh, we got a battle. Sorry, let's cover that first.
Don't worry, the Orison battle fleet is gone. They lost their heavies. I think. Yeah, they lost their heavies. Orissa has just lost their big fleet.
0, yeah, they have.
So we're not gonna be able to go across. Let's go back to.
Yeah, we've got the battle going on in Westphalia at the moment.
This is
Westphalians, Britons, at the moment they are trouncing in terms of numbers. Britain's actually moved up in numbers.
Ooh, that's a -1 or -2. No, okay, they had a crossing, but they managed to negate it. This general, this Marcus guy is pretty good, and he carried the day.
Westphalia managed to hold the
Yeah,
line
and
so
now they
far.
have a higher front. This is gonna give more of a battle of maneuver at this. Oh, Desmond! Desmond, run! Desmond, no! And they just. Your Pope has no heart. Just kill those poor Desmond people.
Aw, they were just there to watch
Damn.
and for a bit of sport.
Even the Pope hates the Irish. This is fucked up.
So we've got another fight going on, Russia against Westphalia, but this is a Russia without a general. Is Peter around? Peter's right next door. Peter! Peter!
Oh wow!
Stackbite.
And yeah, that's. I think when you start moving from a very big like trench warfare to like a big maneuver battle, the game changes and you have to employ new tactics.
You do.
And I don't see anyone so far being.
But it's fine. There is familiarity and repetition.
And
We're
it's
going through
true, and I
repetition
think I
again.
guess that respite allowed them to potentially, I don't know, they can match stuff pretty quick.
Yeah, Britain's actually being remarkably good at reacting to different threats as they appear. Britain seems to just be everywhere at once. They were in the north when Westphalia needed them. They're now in the south when Livonia needs them. And this is Livonia
If they
fighting.
wanted to stop them, they could sit on Ashtal because it's neutral land. So whoever's sitting there will get the mountain.
And Gotland's armies are arriving. Oh, they're going for Venice? Yeah, they are going for Venice.
Yeah, that's smart. I guess we just want Venice.
Yeah. This is an island, therefore it is ours.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, but they won. They
Oh, no,
won,
but
and
they
another
sacrificed.
reinforcement. Oh,
Yep.
that's it. That's it.
And they're pushing forwards. Nepal going for the fight in Treviso. Treviso has not been red enough. They need to add more bodies hitting the floor there.
Oh, are they gonna come before the monthly tick? No. So they got some morale back.
Yeah, but the Brits are close enough to reinforce if they need to. They have 80k sitting there with force march.
And
ready to
Zimbabwe
go.
is coming with a 3-star general that wants blood.
And it is a -2 again.
He's
They
a
are getting
5-6. This man wants to murder.
But he doesn't have the maneuver. He's got the river crossing.
Is exactly as good as the other side, but the Pope is just calling it a day.
Backing off. Britain and France now holding the line. France having been done in Andalusia. They've still left 50k to stop a potential Mameluke crossing.
Scotland just walking on Venice. It's like, don't mind me. I'm just chilling about.
And then we've got another fight for Treviso because they just can't get enough of this place. 176,000, 200,000 against 150. There are
And that's a
100,000 Persians next
-2
door.
of the crossing. That river is really a problem.
Meanwhile, in the north, Westphalia moving in, 80,000. Oh no, Westphalia just got stack wiped. They got a second army coming in that's only half of the strength. There's a bunch of
Oh
Russians
god,
nearby.
and now they're gonna come piecemeal. Oh, that's gonna be bad.
Yeah, this is going to be really bad. The Persian alliance seems to be losing their cohesion pretty rapidly.
Yes. Oh, but although they're a battle up north, but Britain is running through it, and I think they're gonna win this one.
Yep, 90k troops coming in, trying to
Yeah, but then now they're running
resist.
away. And Sicily has been proclaimed Holy Roman Emperor after just basically all the other potential candidates died.
There's only 3 electors. Nice.
Yes.
Just take a quick look at that. Yep, 3 electors. The League War is brewing, I guess, if you can call it that. The Protestant League doesn't even actually have anybody in it.
No, because is Westphalia still in the HR? Yes, but they're not
Yeah,
an
but they're in the
elector,
war.
so they cannot.
Right.
Swabia could actually. They are an elector and they are Protestant, so I think they.
But they can't join the league until the war's over. So yeah, that is moving there. Has anything happened in the Orisa side? So you said that they lost their fleet. How?
I don't know, but they're gone if you look at the numbers.
Yeah, it looks like they attacked with 48, I guess, just heavies and lost the 94.
Damn.
But losing all of them?
I think they retreated back in one of the Malacan ports, and then they got stuck there, and they could not get out. I don't know, something like that. I'm not sure exactly what happened. That's weird that they lost all of them in one battle.
Like they all died. That is a bit strange.
But it is what it is.
Meanwhile,
Russia is pushing it. It is turning into the 30 Years' War.
oh, we've got another fight going on in
that's a
Westphalia
big
at the
one.
moment. 170,000 Brits against 220 Persians and allies. We do have
And-
Westphalians marching to their assistance.
And more Brits.
Even more Brits coming in. But the Russians are answering
Marcus
the
is
call.
pretty good. Piotr, another Piotr is there, and he's 6631.
It's the same one, Peter Tottelben. Same guy.
Oh, was he a total? Okay,
He was
he's a
a
total
total ban.
ban. All right, he's a total ban. And this
He's
is
going on a total bender
yeah, he
through
is.
the countryside of Westphalia.
And more people are coming, but we still have like Korea. Korea is
Korea
ready
has
to
arrived.
reinforced.
Yes.
All right, game over, Pope. Game over.
Game over, man. Game over. 300,000 against 300,000.
Oh,
This
but Livonia
fight
is
escalating.
instead of reinforcing, is just running after the back line that was waiting to reinforce.
Meanwhile, Persia is trying to push again in the south. Much smaller odds this time. 60,000 against 60,000.
Korea, you're gonna have to pick one side and fight it, or you're gonna just be standing there and eaten.
Yep,
Gonna,
Korea,
they're going.
so they're
Korea
moving.
is going. Korea and Koreans are gonna save the day.
Yeah, they are. There's another 54,000 Livonians as well. To
I
be
think they're
thrown
gonna
in.
win this one. Yes. Oh, just in the nick of time, and now they caught the
No,
the
Livonians were
Livonians.
caught. 57,000.
Oh, and if they go 10-1, they're gonna die immediately, right?
It's not going to be quite 10-1 though. I don't think that it's Livonia. They go.
Oh no, it has to be 10-1 at the start of the battle, and then you automatically get wiped. Unless that rule has been removed.
Are they winning?
Oh god, no. No, they thought they could. And meanwhile, in the
In the
20th
south.
Battle of the Isonzo,
Yep, 285,000 Persians
I
against
think the
137,000
number of
Britons.
favoring... although the Pope is marching in 45k that have no morale
It's just
whatsoever.
another mercenary stack. They've decided not to.
There
Oh,
is...
that little hesitation may cost them.
They took one pip. They took one pip of reinforcement, but Serbia is running. Meanwhile, Gotland is occupying Venice.
Colin's like, we're doing our part. Yay!
I'm doing my part. I'm assuming the Pope revenue has been crashing down and the pirates are around? No.
I don't
Not-
know if the pirates have actually been doing much pirating.
No, they're still making 88 ducats of trade. They should attack the moneymaker.
Venice is being pirated.
Yeah, but the main trade node is of the Pope of Genoa. It is not
Yeah,
Venice.
it is. Although they don't have a merchant here. That's never a good idea. If you're collecting trade, always put a merchant there. That's the free 10% trade efficiency, which is basically a free 10% value on top of whatever it is that you're.
And you know, they could hurt the money making. Like, they are making 72 ducats in Genoa. If Gotland attacks it, like that's the Pope going in the negatives immediately.
Yeah, well, the Pope is going for Corsica and Sardinia, both of which have now. The Gotland's taking Corsica and Sardinia, both of which have now fallen. So Gotland is trying their little naval invasions. I'm wondering if we may see an attack on Sicily, perhaps, to open up another front in the south.
I would attack the British Isles. just
You know what? That's not a bad shout. I mean, they do have.
yeah, because it would. How much fleet do they have? How long would it take them to ferry everybody back to Britain?
They have 30 transports, if memory serves.
That's not a lot.
Yep, 31.
That's gonna take them a while if they need 2 ferry stacks around.
Yeah, so Gotland could open up a new front in Britain as well, and with Gotland's fleet.
But right now they're busy burning Westphalia down. At least the Russians and the Persians are, which is forcing both sides to reconsider where they should be.
Okay, I'll show you the manpower map mode. I've been a bit busy with other things, dude. But I've seen your requests. Development, there you go.
Ah, New Frankfurt is being invaded again by Gotland. We are going after you. I mean, to be fair, that province has 53 development. I would take it if I could. That's a very good pirate destination in Iberia, in the Baleares.
Where was that?
Oh,
Mallorca.
Yeah,
that
Mallorca,
used to
New
be the-
Frankfurt,
That was New Frankfurt, indeed.
53 development.
Impressive. What's Jerusalem at now? Because these guys have been going very, very tall. Oh dear, they seem to be slightly occupied by...
Orisa is slowly making a new fleet, but that's...
True Jerusalem is for... Sorry, True Frankfurt.
No, that's not
Got the name
Orisa.
wrong.
That is Malaya.
47 dev.
Yeah, Orisa needs a new plan if they want to actually cross the strait.
Show you Brazil. There's nothing happening in Brazil. Sorry.
Brazil isn't real. I mean, there's Jerusalem, Brazil, I guess, and they're doing thing.
Brazil. There you go. That's Brazil. This is looking a bit messy. Jerusalem is starting to colonize more and more aggressively, which is good to see. Meanwhile, we have got Gotland marching on New Frankfurt.
Oh, is that a level 4 fort? Do we have? Yeah, they should have the numbers to siege it. Hopefully.
It's a level 4. It's not the capital.
Are those Marines or just like random?
There's 20k
schmucks?
of them, so almost certainly just random schmucks.
Mm.
So let's go and have a look. Click on Gotland. Click on you. No, they're just regulars. Oh no, they have 2
Now
Marines.
we are actually starting to see a east versus west front because it is going all the way to northern Germany now.
The 2k Marines, I think, were the ones
Oh,
that took
and we have a
Venice.
battle in Bamberg.
Oh, we have a battle. in
Not a
Bamberg.
good battle. That's been pit by. I mean, they got only -1. That's not the worst, but that's still. There's a lot of troops all around maneuvering left, right, and center.
Bamberg became Boomberg.
Oh yeah, God.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm here.
Oh,
for the
and
rest of the
Japan
day.
got caught off guard, and their troops are not up to par. 2 full points of more, 50% less morale than the
Yeah,
OC.
that's
Morale is
stack wipe.
king. I still stand by myself. How much morale does France have? They should have all the morale. They have some of it. They do have a nice 7.4. Let's
It's
look actually.
almost as much as Livonia, I think.
If it's not the best, then we should fix it. That's my hot take right now. Players. France has the best morale at 7.46. All's
they
right
do.
with the world.
Oh, you're looking at that. Yeah. Let's just do that real quick.
But
So
we have a
show-
whopping 137% discipline for Russia. Russia has, I don't know how, but they found
Whoa.
all the discipline in the world.
How? Let's go and take a look at Russia. Go over to the discipline. They have got full quality,
and-
spirited core, weapon standards, Epiphany Olov, good discipline, inspirational leader, and then the icon of St. Michael. All right. Orthodox.
Is Epiphany Hall of like the name of their
yeah, that's
advisor? This man had an epiphany, and it involves guns.
Okay, so 2 more battles going on. Britain trying to hold up against the Russians, but the Russians just showing they are dominant. And Peter says,
yeah,
no.
they picked a really bad battle with -2.
Livonia was trying to be a bit sneaky and got out-sneaked. Meanwhile, Treviso has fallen to the Russian coalition, but Britain is doing their
And
part
the
to take it back.
Mamluks have been retreating, and they're now stuck on the island of Venice. They're gonna have to rescue them at some point, or we're gonna have another stack of. Oh, but Persia is moving in.
Okay, Mamelukes are pushing across to try and reinforce as well. They don't... Oh no, the Pope's stopping them. Oh no, they control both. You can't block the strait.
No, yeah, and the Pope is getting the -1, and the rolls so far are going on the side of the. Oh no, the damage is. The damage is clearly on the side of Persia.
Numbers. There we go, now I am.
No, the damage is on the side of Persia, but the morale is clearly on God's
of
side.
Britain, yeah. But they have another 120,000
Oh,
troops in
and
the way
now
in.
they lost 1 maneuver point.
But here comes France. I think this might be the first battle of
that's-
France is actually... Oh no, they've decided to walk past.
Nice.
France is not getting involved. France
Which
is
is
not,
no,
Oh, no,
they
now
remember.
they are.
Oh
Now
shit!
they are.
You said that east. Okay, I read south. Oh, but now the general also has a bad maneuver roll, so they have -2 on anything.
do.
And
There are
that Zimbabwe leader is 5'6". He's a beast.
Here comes Japan with another attempt. A
Oh,
chance
and-
of redemption.
I just realized 5'6" and 10% landfire damage. That man is out. He came all the way from Zimbabwe and he wants death. He will not be satisfied unless.
Death! It's 300,000 against 360,000. We got 30,000 Brits on the way in, 76,000 Persians sitting nearby, with some Koreans and some Romanians and some. What crest is that? Macau. Oh, Manchu. Sorry, Manchu also having now finally arrived.
Oh, another rushing. Britain is rushing south, but they're the only one rushing south, and there's still a lot of reserves
But
pouring.
I must just report that Swabia is currently drilling in case there's a war.
You know what? I better be prepared.
Yeah, they need to be prepared
You
in case
need
a war
to be
breaks
and
out.
they won that battle in Treviso.
we go.
Oh, and Britain just cancelled their movement just in
Just
the nick
in
of time.
time.
Meanwhile, in the north, Russia is picking a battle against Westphalia with the help of Chagatai, but I think the numbers are clearly not on their favor unless they have lots of reinforcements. Oh, Russia has a lot of reinforcements around, but can they make it in
shit.
time?
Livonia is mostly rebel at this point. Well spotted. Norse Zealots, they're trying to convert Livonia. Oh, they want that.
Oh, they're doing it on purpose.
They want
I
that.
see.
Yep, they want that.
Oh, but Russia is reinforcing here, but there is more reinforcements coming. This is going to be... Russia's really turned around the number. They don't have the morale, but they have the discipline.
Yeah, 138. It's gone up. 138% against the 128%.
Well, it's a 37 point... I think it's a different rounding than the last one we looked at.
maybe.
But Paradox math, people.
Yay. 40k coming in, so that's going to equal the numbers, but there's still 72,000 Brits just on the outskirts wanting to get involved. So I think they went to
and
the wrong place.
Chagatai
They
is
did.
trying to come.
Took a wrong turn. They pulled a France and went the wrong way. But they are now in the fight. 250
And
against
that's
170
going to be
France is
difficult
done.
for Chagatai. Horses are running, but can they run fast enough to reinforce? I think they're going to be just too late.
I think they are. They need to cancel that move. Yeah. So Chagatai is there with 50k. They're just going to pull back in case they try to push in.
But meanwhile, they got the mountain fort now.
Treviso
Which
and
means they can't...
Trentino.
Oh, now they're cut off. They're going to have to go all the way from Como, which is still doable, but we are starting to see a potential split of the front, which I think I would try to do if I was them. Drive a wedge, force them to pick a side.
And this would be an amazing moment for Gotland to launch a naval invasion of Sicily, I think. They've still tried to take...
New Frankfurt, which is,
Frankfurt.
well, old New Frankfurt, because I think New Frankfurt has moved too, right? Can't remember where, but they did.
there's Frankfurt, there's New Frankfurt, and there's True Frankfurt.
Oh, true Frankfurt, of course.
And I think there might be another one.
Oh, and Texas has arrived, and they're sitting with a 654 full general in Andalusia. They should send that man to the front. He is there, and he wants to kill people.
Where is Jerusalem's capital now? Because it is not true Jerusalem.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Oh, wait, that's Kingdom of God. Where is Jerusalem? That's Jerusalem, Brazil.
Okay, so they have pulled out of Germany, got themselves a few
Jerusalem is
forts.
actually Kingdom of God. Where is Jerusalem?
In Inca, of course.
Kamana. Yep, clearly. They haven't renamed it though. This isn't like true
Okay,
Jerusalem.
not yet.
No.
Not yet. Until they find whatever as the next step.
Oh, there was a bit of a maneuver to try to get to Bologna. Instead, we've got the Battle of Modena, where they do have
Oh,
a
we
river
got
crossing.
we're gonna get two battles, I
Yes,
think.
we are.
Mantova is also going to be a
Mantova,
fight. And this is a river crossing for... oh god, Nepal is getting mulched.
Prussia of the East.
Oh, it's... yeah, that's not going to go well.
And then the Mamluks, bravely fighting against the 200. Are we going to see our
Mamluks,
third
just
stack
click
wipe?
the runaway button, please.
Third
Oh
stack
no,
wipe.
Mamluks!
Mamluks with their third stack wipe this war. No comment.
It's, yeah.
Meanwhile, Westphalia has been given a moment to breathe, but not
But
too long.
Russia
of a
is
moment.
using it to come back because they know it takes a while for them to go back through Sicily and decide. Oh, and Serbia. Serbia has rented out one condotteri to Sicily, so they can see to Swabia, so they can see them coming up and down all the time. I think that's what they're using them for as a spy, to see those troops repositioning, and they know there's nobody in Germany proper right now. So if they march in force, they will have numerical advantage.
So Westphalia gamely trying to bolster their numbers, but they just don't have enough. There's another 100,000 Russians just standing by to throw themselves into the Battle of Eager. They are eager to die, and there is definitely going to be a lot of death today.
Someone in chat is asking why is the national anthem of the Mamluks done with a trombone, a sad trombone. I do not know, but
Yeah. Unfortunately, Westphalia were not able to hold out against the Russian hordes.
England still has some manpower, but not a lot. France has a strategic reserve. Russia is running dry. Livonia still has a reserve. Persia is still sitting on a war treasury of 37k.
Okay, so in terms of manpower, the one with the most manpower at the moment is Sicily with 139,000. France second with 75. Maywar with 70. Somalia with 64.
Oh, wow.
Manchu with 64. Livonia with 58. And the US at 56. Then in terms of the nations with no manpower, Romania, Serbia, Westphalia, Kingdom of God, Nepal, Russia. Russia with 58 mercenaries. Kingdom of God with 90.
Interesting. Meanwhile, in the Orissa and Malacca war, Orissa has stopped paying for the troops right now. They just lowered maintenance. I think they're just hoping that Malacca breaks away. At this point, that's probably the play.
Serbia still has 87% professionalism, so they can tap that quite a lot. And then there's quite a gap to Livonia with 50%. So Livonia's still got a lot to go. Same with Westphalia, same with France, same with Sicily, same with Gotland. So actually the nation with the most to give right now is Sicily. They have by far the biggest manpower pool.
They joined late.
They did. They are the freshest. Sorry, what was happening in the Orissa War? I cut you off.
Orissa stopped paying for the troops. And I think they're just hoping that Malacca revolts to occupation and breaks out the country. Is that happening? I don't think so.
41%. They're not going to get to the 50.
Yeah, and I don't think. I think maybe they're hoping for rebels, but there's no. I mean, they're getting a lot of war exhaustion, but it's. I don't think they. If they have cores, is there a chance that someone will rise? I don't think those cores are actives, actually. Most of those cores are inactive, so maybe Ayutthaya could revolt, and then they could eat that, but even then, they have 0 unrest right now.
Meanwhile, Livonia are still trying to get converted by the Norse. They're also getting some Hanoverian separatists rising up. Livonia actually starting to build some more troops, probably to go and deal with the Hanoverians. But they're quite happy for the Norse to continue to convert. 8,000 there.
Oh, and Gotland is ferrying yet more and more troops, I think, as a taxi. I see that...
oh, they've done it. They've landed in Sicily.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good move, actually. I think this is where they probably should send, like, the US and Texas.
Yeah.
Rather than sit on Gibraltar, which they can't cross.
So if they manage to take... In fact, you know what? I would have taken Calabria with the 2 units of Marines so that they can't use the crossing straight away and then land the rest of the army in Messina.
Yes, because Messina is a bitch to take back if nobody turns around.
Yeah, and if you control the strait. I mean, as long as they control Messina and that fort there, they can't ever cross. Because
if someone tries to cross, it's a crossing penalty plus mountains.
7%. Did they destroy the walls? They did. So they've used that naval barrage to...
Yeah, and the Pope is... Oh, the Pope is marching south. 60k marching south.
We do have an American fleet nearby. Do they have any transports? They're moving troops.
I don't know.
Like
I hope they do. There's 14 troops. I don't know if they actually are carrying any... They should be carrying troops soon. Ah, yes. 13... Oh, but that's going to be a really bad battle.
Oh, the Americans were coming in, but they decided not to. 16k against 60. I think Gotland's about to lose that army.
Especially with the numbers.
Meanwhile, there's another battle going on in Vogtsland.
-2 Gotland. That's GG. They are not a fighting nation. Do not take a minus to fight. That was a good move, but yeah, I think they should have committed a bit more to that if they wanted to pull it off.
Yeah, they needed to take the rest of, or at least another port in Sicily, so they have an escape route. Always plan your escape if you're going to do a naval invasion.
Are we ready to swap, mister? Or... Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We didn't see the messages of the next team is supposed to come soon. Actually, they was supposed to come 10 minutes ago, but this war does not want to end. So we're gonna give them a moment, and when they're ready, we will do a switcheroo. But in the meantime, we are continuing to cover the war day by day, week by week. How long has it been going on now?
Just join one, doesn't look
9 years, 11 years.
They don't have troops fighting the rebels because they want the rebels to win. Because they're Norse zealots. They want to become Norse. Meanwhile, the
Will that be better than Catholic actually with all the bonuses we're getting right now?
Yeah, because it gives what was it? It was tier with +5 or was it +10 discipline?
Oh, but they will be training that for like 20% morale at least right now because of the Crusade and Papal Blessing. I don't know. I'm not sure it's a great trade-off. It's a trade.
Yeah, and also, what does Norse itself give? I think Norse gives morale. No, force limit modifier.
That's not bad, but...
It used to be morale. It used to be 20% of each. Or was it 10%?
I'm not sure this will be the Catholic bonuses they can get if they have God on their side, and they do have the Pope on their side right now.
True. Although if they become Norse, then they become the defender of the faith of Norse.
Oh. The battle's about to happen in the fields of Mantova. Persia is pushing in.
More manpower for the fields of Mantova.
-1 roll, but they have that amazing Zimbabwe general who is a ruthless monster.
563 with the extra fire damage. He
Yeah,
is
you
pretty
always
good.
see the morale going very high at first, but then the numbers kind of equalize a bit more.
Only with a 7.5 morale against Zimbabwe 6.4. I know that's it's dependent on the actual troops fighting.
Yeah, I know.
Each one has their own
I
modifiers,
have
but
considered actually showing you the true effective number, but it would keep bumping all the time, and we considered that it would just confuse the heck out of people more
just
than
be the
help.
average.
Yeah, but it would just shift all the time, especially if you have like many troops fighting with different stats.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, though.
Well, maybe I can revive that old like 5-year-old debate with my game designer, but that is an old discussion.
Britain
and
managed
a
to
counter.
block 80,000 Persians from joining the fight. Britain with a bad general. And it does look stack-wide. Britain just lost a big stack. And the Persians, however, were halted. But it doesn't look like...
No, Russia has a lot of reinforcement to throw. They need to throw them snow. They're good. They have more
Britain
people
also
coming
being
down.
attacked by Chagatai. 108,000 Chagatai
Oh, and
against 58,000
Ferrara, Pope. The Pope has 60 troops sitting on Ferrara alone, and Persia has seen that. He's trying to pull some people on, and Russia is probably going to join the fray. This is amazing coordination now, because it's only like I don't know how many people across like a huge castle trying to coordinate on this fight, and they are getting the job done.
Papal states have been forced back. Britain has been forced back. Ferrara has been forced back.
And Texas has made a landing in Malaga, and the US have taken Gibraltar.
Oh, yes, they
so,
have.
America has landed.
America! Cool. With who? Oh, over there. Cool. I didn't realize it was you that was changing with us. Okay, so are we doing a break or how are we doing this?
Yeah, I think we can now. There's no battle. Well, there's going to be a battle very soon, but we are going to change
We'll keep
casters.
on talking as we stand up. And
Yes,
move
and the
over.
Battle of Genova is starting.
So we got the British fighting against the Persians. We have other troops maneuvering into position. And suddenly this stream becomes audio only. Yes, we